the professionals there, or is it that the ministry just does not have the budget to give the municipalities to hire the professionals? What, in your estimation, as I said, there is that all the reports, all the municipalities are reporting that they have staffing issues in this area of the financial and accounting professionals to help them to advance, so that we don't see 95 and some having 15, 11, and so forth. What is the reason you would say?
Member, I want to respond very cautiously. Let me tell you why. A few years ago, when we were in this house, the question came up, and we felt that from the observation, and some people said it in their exit interviews, that the compensation was low. However, we have had compensation adjustments, and we have also had structural adjustments to the organization. Still, and it's not just with the local authorities, we have seen, even in the ministry, you will employ persons and they don't stay. For example, the IT specialists, they may not stay a long time because these people are in demand internationally, I suppose. So they leave. And we have seen it with some of the professionals that even with the job offer that might be improved, they may not necessarily stay long. So I want to respond cautiously because it could be a combination of factors. What I do know now is that we have some improved levels. We're presently recruiting. The selection exercises are underway for some. Some are just advertising, some are about to advertise, and some that may have been approved before may be seeking approval to operate because they may not have operated for a while. But all in all, I would want to underscore that we have some improved levels, which means improved compensation, which means we expect to attract the level of professionalism that is needed, or professionals, let me not say professionalism, because you know that. So we expect to have that. And I looked at Member Gardner specifically and Member Hamilton, because they are coming out of the system, so they can relate to it, and remember with first hand what I am saying.
Okay. Member Miller?
No, member, I'm just saying I just said I looked on you specifically because I know you can relate to what I'm saying. You and
All right, Member Miller.
You mentioned about outsourcing as well as recruitment. Just clarify for me, what aspect were you referring to when you said outsourcing?
All right, so with respect to that specific question, sir, I believe each CEO would be better able to respond, seeing that it's their immediate activity or assignment.
Yeah. Member Gordon, you have another follow-up?
Thank you, Chairman. What's the relationship like with the ministry and the service commission? Because I know firsthand that references are made and interviews are done. Robert Hill would suffer whilst I was a councillor there with delay in getting adequate staffing on board. And his go-to thing was the service commission, the local government services commission. Is there any improvement in that area as it relates to recruiting? Is there any improvement in salary compensation in spite of the adjustment? I'm still hearing that there are no takers because the salaries offered are still at the low level. So in order to attract the professional that we need to clear up this 95 outstanding report requires coordination between the ministry and the service commission and the municipal corporation. So I'm just wondering whether or not there is improvement in timely delivery when interviews are done and when staff are actually given a contract.
All right, so Member Gardner has raised some questions too that perhaps are better answered by the CEOs because of their daily interaction. But from where I sit, member, as the PS, we do have regular meetings with the chairman and to include the CEOs. And the challenges are underscored. The proposals to move forward are also looked at. As to the turnover and how quickly, I believe the CEOs are better able to respond to that, feel that that's their first-hand responsibility. And what I can say with respect to the compensation is that based on the levels that once existed, those have been upgraded, and where there were no posts available in some instances, because not all MCs have the same situation, those MCs received new posts.
Just a follow-up, Mr. Chairman. So, as it relates to persons who have been acting in a post for many, many years, and it is observed that they don't have the requisite qualification, but they continue to serve and act in that post. And I know with certainty that there is someone acting in a particular post at the KCMC for over 10 years. How do we allow that to continue in terms of staff morale, in terms of the own personal development of such an officer? How do we allow that to happen? I don't know.
Remember, that sounds like something I may have to investigate. But what I can
The
tell
CEO
you,
is right
yeah,
there.
man, I'm just making a note because you had addressed me, because I was gonna say, but Mr. Hill, who is here, should perhaps be giving that response. But it does sound like something that will need some investigation.
Mr. Chairman, could we defer and ask Mr. Hill to respond?
Yeah.
All right, just on that, I was going to go around starting with you, Ms. Crosskill, but just on that specific point, Mr. Hill, if you can respond to that.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Member Gordon. Just to clarify, you're speaking specifically of the, I won't call it.
No, you don't have to be specific.
The issue that I know that has been of interest to you for some time. As far as we are concerned, the new structure has been approved and has been implemented incrementally, meaning that the positions that have been assessed by the Services Commission, the official letters of appointment or recommendations for appointment are coming into the corporation on a gradual basis. The one in question of which you speak has not yet come. Representation in that regard has been made, and we expect that a favorable response will come from the Services Commission. I can only stop there for the moment, based on what I understand your question to be in particular to that situation which you left at KCMC.
Tell them to try pre-we, big up Portland Spice TV. Tell them to try pre-we, big up Portland Spice TV. Remember to subscribe. See, Portland Spice TV, Louis Culture say it once and we say it again. Portland Spice TV. We are going to hold them and pop it off. Bogus badge where we rip off. Subscribe, share. Portland Spice TV is here. Woo!
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth our fruit in our season. Our leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever we do shall prosper. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show for yet another Tuesday evening, Marathon Tuesday, you know. Because remember, on a Tuesday, we take you up to 8 o'clock. Because at 6 o'clock, we're going to be joined by Caribbean Radio, 97.9 HD4. Yeah, covering the largest section of South Florida, all the way up to Jacksonville from Miami. Yeah, man. So, welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome. Wherever you are, we want to welcome you this evening. And thank you for joining us. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, we invite you to subscribe to the channel, like and share up the channel. Become a Portland Spice ambassador as we take our time in diversifying the channel. Yesterday evening, we had the first show of religious freedom. Brother Stamp was on for about 45 minutes. And we're going to be doing that every Monday evening. After we finish the Colin Bell show, we'll close off that show and open for a new show, Religious Freedom. And the intention is to have more and more hosts on the channel, not just one host, you know? So get ready as we build out this platform here, Portland Spice TV, where we seek to provide the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us God. We're not seeking balance. We are seeking truth. Yeah, man. So you were listening a while ago to some excerpts from the PAC. And at the PAC, they have a number of municipal corporations. And they are talking about their financial statements and how many of them are outstanding and for how long some of those financial statements have been outstanding. I want us to listen to a little bit more and then we're going to get into the show this evening. So let's listen to a little bit more of the PAC.
I'll ask you, representing the St. James Municipal Corporation, to indicate, and for each CEO, where you are in terms of your backlog, what you're doing to resolve it, what the outstanding issues are that remain. Just press your mic.
Good morning, members. Good morning, colleagues. All right, where we are in St. James, we had 6 accounts statements outstanding. Up to yesterday, we had submitted 3 of that 6, so we have 3 remaining.
Which years?
We submitted up to 2022.
Okay.
So the other 3 will be, we had written to our permanent secretary asking her to send a letter to Auditor General asking for an extension to July to submit up to 2025.
How have you cleared the backlog so far?
So, repeat?
How have you managed to clear your backlog?
We have outsourced, so we have gotten assistance by outsourcing. So that's how we are bringing it up to date. But a number of questions were asked, like, 1, what would give members the confidence that we will bring their accounts up to date? 1, almost all the local authorities are outsourcing to bring the financials up to date. 2, the PS would have spoken about the structure. The structure came into effect 2024, and on that structure, we were given the position of financial statement, somebody to do the final accounts.
The accounting professional to deal with that, yes.
As it relates to the salary, there's nothing we can do about the salary because you know that that's preset. So we can't do anything because it's government salary. Anybody can go on the internet and know what the salary is. So we can't do anything about that. But we have the structure, which we did not have before. So that's 1. As it relates to another member had spoken about the missing information. That is very important. No, the Auditor General cannot do anything about that because they have to audit and present what they found. The Ministry of Finance is who I think need to guide us how we move forward with the opening balances that will forever not allow us to not have a qualified accounts. So as long as those opening balances are not addressed, the Auditor General will never be able to give us an unqualified account. It will always have a qualification because the opening balances are not verified. And so, as was said, and it is not verified because of the missing documents. So, for example, in St. James, what had caused the documents to be missing was that the server went down, and so what was there could not be verified, and some of the documents went missing. You would have also remember, for example, with St. Anne, the Auditor General had said that she was recommending a $1 billion surcharge, which I believe that was an abuse.
1 billion?
That was an abuse of power, I believe. But
No, hold on.
But
A $1 billion? You sure that's accurate,
yes,
though?
I'm correct. It was in the papers. But the reason for that was that
$1 billion?
Yes, where
I don't think that could be accurate at all. Because a surcharge is to a specific individual.
Yes,
so
it was for the CEO. And it was because of the missing documents, the same thing, it could not be, but the documents weren't really, they were damaged. So the documents were there, but they were damaged because we have storage problem. And we do a lot of things manually. So we don't store documents electronically. The documents are stored manually. Documents are stored like in a container, in a room. So you will have insects that will damage it. You have the elements like water, like, we just went through Melissa and Beryl and all of that. So those are the kind of issues that the council have. We don't have the financial capacity to convert these documents into electronic documents. So those are the kind of issues that we face, because if you look at all our budget and what is required of us, we don't have the financial capacity to do all the things that are required to put us in a very efficient manner and to make sure that everything that is to be reproduced, that at some point they are not damaged, whether by water, insect, all of those things. And an electronic form would be the best way. So any kind of support that can be given to help us to get us our document in an electronic format, that would help greatly. But I would say that the municipal corporation will not be here next year, and the municipal corporations will not be here next year talking about 90-odd financial statement. We might be here talking about 10, but I'm sure we'll not be here talking about that, because we are putting things in place to get the statements up to date, and we are employing the final accounts person to continue after we would have left off. What we will be coming here is about IPSAS. Now, that's a requirement under the law, and again, Ministry of Finance plays a role there. So the committee that the PS spoke about, they are trying to get all of that sorted out. But until that is sorted out, what we are producing is really modified IPSAS, not fully accrual. So we need to have the IPSAS sorted out, and we need to have the opening balances for Ministry of Finance to give us some guidance as to how we resolve the opening balances problem. But we are outsourcing to get them up to date, and we are employing. So that, I would say, what would give the member confidence that come next year there will be improvement, except for, as I said, the opening balances and the IPSAS. And for St. James, for sure, we will not be here next year talking about outstanding statements, only maybe about the implementation of accrual IPSAS.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Croskill. Mrs. Blake, could I ask you on the issue raised of missing documents and how they treat with opening balances, if you could provide guidance there? And secondly, what are the standards?
So, we're listening to the CEO of the St. James Municipal Corporation. For many years, the financials of these municipal corporations have not been forthcoming for the Auditor General to sign off on. And I don't know if any of you remember, there was a time when they said the parish council was a cesspool of corruption in Jamaica. But trying to bring everything up to speed because, you know, if we don't start wiping away this corruption thing in Jamaica, you know, and the argument about missing information, you know, that sound away. But there's a lot more for us to learn. Those of us who are following the war down in the Middle East, and those of us who are following the Canadian Prime Minister, there are some news out there in the media that Carney hung up on Trump in a video meeting. Is that a fact? That Canada is wielding severe power now? What is going on in the world? How will Jamaica navigate the geopolitics of this world? What is happening in the politics now? How will Jamaica deal with all of this? Are you confident that our leaders are ready? To date, we have not heard them spoke about any of the tariffs that has been slapped on us, the 10%. We don't hear the government address that. How are we going to deal with that? How is our teachers? Our teachers are fearing since Hurricane Melissa. What about our healthcare workers? How are they fearing since Hurricane Melissa? What about those people who are out of a job? People who worked in the hotel industry and they are unable now to find gainful employment because those hotels that have closed their doors in the West and said that they will not be reopening until next year. What are being put in place for these people? My name is Colin Bell. This is the Colin Bell Show. We're live on Portland Spice TV. Remember to share up the live. Share up the live because it is critical for us to be on top of things, you know. We have to be on top of things because if you are left behind in this time, when trouble hits, if you are not prepared, you know, if you are not prepared and you are not aware of what is coming, dog, I go eat your dinner. I am warning you. Stay tuned. Stay informed. Because there's a gospel song that says, time wait and no man. Whether you're rich or poor. I saw it say, Madam Producer. Time wait and no man. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. So, let me see. What is this? I didn't listen to it. So, let's see what this is. No, can't play there. Can't play this, so. Let's see. I know. Sorry, Obi. I'm trying to play what you send me. But asking for something that I don't have. Machine that I have to play through is not on Instagram. I don't know what happened to YouTube. the Prime Minister of Canada. I'm telling you something, you know. This is a time now where if you're not witty, you're not smart, you're not sharp, everything are going to left you. Because everything is moving so fast. So fast. Right now. What you say? Uda Australia, the Canadian Prime Minister, he's making the rounds. Meeting with world leaders left, right, and center. Yeah? He's making the rounds. And world leaders are responding to him. That's why I tell you yesterday, and I told you all Sunday morning, that watch this man carefully. Because he is taking over. Yes. He's taking over. And the mistake that Donald Trump...
Say something that's either going to sound like a conspiracy theory or the most obvious thing you've heard all week. And honestly, I'm not sure which one it is anymore. While Donald Trump was ordering warships into the Persian Gulf yesterday, while American F-35s were dropping bombs on Tehran, while the entire world was watching the Middle East erupt into what could be the biggest U.S. military operation in decades, Mark Carney was in Mumbai, shaking hands, signing deals, smiling for cameras. And before you think this is just coincidence, let me walk you through the timeline, because what I'm about to show you is either the most opportunistic piece of geopolitical chess I've seen in years, or, well, there's no or, it's exactly what it looks like. February 27th. That's when Carney's plane touched down in India. Not the 26th, not the 28th. The exact day Trump's military buildup hit critical mass. The exact day oil traders started pricing in a war premium that would push Brent crude to 7-month highs. The day before Trump would launch Operation Epic Fury, bombs over Tehran, missiles over the Strait of Hormuz, and a full-scale regime change operation that's still unfolding as I'm recording this. Now here's where it gets complicated. Canada is the world's 3rd largest petroleum exporter. When oil prices surge, Canadian coffers fill. Every dollar that Brent climbs is money in Alberta's budget. Money that makes Carney's entire economic strategy, his whole energy superpower pitch, suddenly a lot more viable. So when Trump's missiles started flying and oil jumped to $70 per barrel, who benefited? Not the American taxpayer funding this operation, not the Israeli citizen hiding in bomb shelters, Canada. Specifically, Canadian energy producers who just watched their export values spike overnight. But that's not even the real story. Wait, it gets worse. While Trump is on TV announcing major combat operations, Carney is meeting with Indian business leaders. Not about politics, not about security, energy, 50 million tons per year of LNG. That's what sources are saying Canada's proposing to export to India. A $2.8 billion uranium deal, uranium, the stuff you need for nuclear power plants, locked in for 10 years. Critical minerals partnerships, all designed, in Carney's own words from last November, to reduce dependence on the volatile U.S. market. Let me read you what he actually said. This is from November 2025. U.S. tariffs and uncertainty will wipe $50 billion from our economy. We must reduce dependence on the volatile U.S. market. Volatile U.S. market, he said that 4 months before Trump launched the largest American military operation against Iran since 2003. 4 months before proving his own point about volatility. This is the part that kept me up last night. There's a trade agreement up for review. USMCA, the thing that governs basically all trade between the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. It comes up for its first 6-year review in July 2026. That's 5 months away. 5 months where Canada and the US are supposed to be negotiating whether to extend this thing for another 16 years or let it start sunsetting toward a 2036 expiration. Normally, Trump would be all over this. This is a guy who lives for trade negotiations, who threatened 100% tariffs on Canada just last month for even talking to China, who's been publicly feuding with Carney since Davos, where the Canadian PM basically stood up and said middle powers need to act together against American hegemony. But right now, Trump's got 14 warships in the Persian Gulf. He's coordinating with Israel on what Netanyahu is calling an operation to remove the existential threat posed by the terrorist regime in Iran. His entire national security team is consumed with a multi-day bombing campaign that could spiral into a regional war affecting 20% of the world's oil supply. He's not thinking about USMCA. He's not thinking about Canadian canola exports or Pacific pipelines or trade leverage. He's thinking about regime change in Tehran. And Carney knows.
Evening, nephew.
Morning, Mr. Bell. Morning to you and the producer and to all the followers on the live. Morning. Morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody.
Yes.
Tatin is telling us that the damage from Melissa is more than what earlier estimated.
More than the $8.8 billion.
Yeah, yes, it's more. I know you would agree with me, also your followers. We have to give the good Lord thanks that it is the Labour Party in government, controlling government with this kind of loss.
Seriously?
Because if it was the PNP, if it ever was the PNP,
yes.
And as you earlier reported, that rough time is ahead.
If it was the PNP, what would happen?
If it was the PNP in government, you'd have no dog would have eaten all of us supper, including yours.
Let me tell you this.
Including yours.
If the PNP was in power, the hurricane wouldn't come.
Yeah, we the producer laughing at you.
Laughing at me?
I first never hear she laugh at you.
You sure wanna laugh? She laugh with me, and we're both laughing at you. If the PNP had won the election, you see, I tell you yesterday evening that election have consequences. Had the PNP won the election on the 3rd of September, we wouldn't be talking about Melissa. There would be no Melissa.
Mr. Bell.
You realize which hurricane are the big ones that hit Jamaica, and which party has been in power when those major hurricane hit?
The GLP always in power when Gilbert hit. I can't say much about that, but I think Statin is telling us now that this hurricane create a bigger damage and record is the worst.
Yeah, man.
Is the worst.
Yes, but
Mr.
what I
Bell,
am saying to you,
hey.
When the Almighty God have leaders for country and the country refuse to accept what God was offering, then God allow you to get where you want. And I am telling you, nephew, you see, just like how you feel, say, Ray, me I tell you, say, at the PNP one, at the people of Jamaica chose Mark Golden on the 3rd of September, there would not be a hurricane. You remember we get Beryl in 2024, you know.
Yes, we did.
And the people still decide to give it more, so they get more.
Mr. Bell.
Yeah?
I am not disputing with you that Mr. Golden is not a nice guy. Gentleman. I have a lot of respect for him. But he could deal with this one.
He could deal with this? So hold on. You are saying that this has been dealt with when the government sat down 3 months and allowed the people in the West to suffer without giving them $1? That is what you're talking about? And when they decide to give them some money, it's 70,000 and 200,000 and 500,000.
Mr. Bell.
How many houses the government has built so far for people who got damaged in the hurricane?
You is on a political campaign while I am on what is best for Jamaica.
What is best for Jamaica is the people them still asleep on the tarpaulin and asleep in a car down at Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth and Hanover. That is best for Jamaica.
Help is coming. It is slow.
Yeah, man. Andrew Wellness and the soon come help.
I put it to you that you have been you is on a tour for the past month little.
No bad mind me, nephew. You don't need for bad mind me. Me know labor rights is a set of bad mind people. You don't need for bad mind me for the little break when me take out of Jamaica. You don't need for bad mind me. You don't have for bad mind me.
No, I mention it. I mention it so as to say that life has significantly improved for you for the past 9 years.
Me work very hard, nephew. I work very hard and I fight off the evil of the GLPs.
Yes.
I've been fighting the evil, but things get better when Labour right thought it would be worse.
All right. I say all of this so as to kick off the ball for your rest of callers now to come and attack now.
No, nobody not attack you, nephew. You know, nobody not attacking you. Yeah, man. At the comedian for the show, nobody not attacking you. Nobody will attack you.
I have to give thanks to the Lord that under the GLP, my life has been significantly improved, and I'm doing well for myself.
Well,
I meet a nice Indian-looking girl from Porty, and I'm looking at property in Portland to buy to give her to make life. So if you don't have any, give me a call, my brother.
All right, nephew. Have a good evening. Have a good evening, nephew. Nephew, bring a little laugh in the evening, so let's accept it, eh? Let's go over to the UK. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Good night, Mr. Bell.
Yes, sir. Blessings.
Yeah, I want to speak on two issues. You know, first, I want to speak on let me ask you a question and your panel a question. Do you believe that the Andrew Holness-led administration have an appetite for education?
It doesn't show. It doesn't show.
And do you believe that he have an appetite for vocational training?
Well, they talk a big talk. And I know they're doing some things with heart. So, I don't know if they have the big appetite, but they may have a little appetite. But it needs big appetite.
All right. Let me say this then. All right. Let's look back on the Edward Siaga, Bruce Golding, and Andrew Holness. Don't you believe that they are anti-educational?
And as I said, I don't see an appetite for education. I remember even in COVID, I was one of the persons, well, maybe I was the first person out there begging the government to open some schools that are located in some areas where you have like 40 children going to these schools. They are all from the same community. And during COVID, them did a ramp and a run up and down amongst them one another. I was saying that they could go to school. The government never seems to be interested. In fact, one laborite who worked at Region 2, when I approached her and said to her that school like Bellevue and Moortown, those schools could be open, and she said never. And after I put it out on social media on the channel and start talking about it, the government gradually start opening some of those schools. So I don't see them have the appetite for education.
All right, Colin, I don't give you my opinion. Is it okay if I give my opinion?
Yeah, man, go right ahead. Go ahead.
Based on track record. Based on track record. The Andrew Holness-led administration has not built any schools since he's in charge of the country. Okay?
But you know, Carla, I couldn't use that to judge because
Colin, I'm talking about me now. Okay?
All right, go ahead. Continue.
Okay, all right. And again, this is track record. there's never been such a level of stealing taxpayers' money from the Ministry of Education. Okay? There's never and there's nobody eating out and the stealing. You have this girl, Grace McNeil. She run off with some. I decided she borrowed the money from Ministry of Education. She helped herself to it. She borrowed it. You have Will Reid, and there are people before Will Reid was stealing the money. I think Andrew Wallace can tell you a bit about them, how the most of the money moved up because it wasn't in the Ministry of Education. Okay. If the JLP led administration had an appetite for education, you will have people like Nevio coming on program and speaking from his ass. You can be educated. Okay?
I'm listening.
So these are the and look at and check again. Look how many schools, look how many training centers that the Edward Seaga government has shut down. They shut down Kellenworth, they shut down Kabla, where people used to carry 400 students per 400 students was boarding there, and they were there to learn a trade. That was shut down by the JLP government. Okay? Education, the lack of education by those by the JLP party is the result where you have people like Nevio who will come on the program and speak from his ass. You are with me?
I am listening to your caller.
That means the lack of education. That's why Nevio can come on the program and speak like that. And he's proud of himself. He's proud of himself speaking from his ass. He's laughing and jiggling about his feet. He feels so I tell you, he feel like a king on a mountain, and he think he's smart. That guy is a lunatic, and that is the cause of the lack of education. Why the JLP government have spent years destroying the country.
What about the man a supporting party? The man is talking up his party. Why you don't talk up your party and leave Nevio?
No, listen to me. I'm not talking about Jamaica. This is not a party thing. This is a Jamaica thing. This taxpayers' money to uplift Jamaica. I'm not talking about a party. No, this is not a party thing.
But Nevio a big up in party. Nevio not talking about Jamaica. Nevio is talking about his party.
Listen me carefully. Listen me, man. Either you're going to uplift a program. Of the program, are you going to get me Nevio show all these load of garbage and bring your program down? You know what I mean? You need to lift your program higher, between a standard. You can't have people like that coming and speaking those things on the programs because it upset the people who have seen their taxpayer money gone to education, which is been stolen. And you have little people like that guy coming on program and speaking from his ass.
All right, caller. Thank you for the call.
Okay.
Big up yourself. Eight 804-7072. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Go ahead, caller.
Blessed top of the evening, Colin.
Blessings, man. Welcome.
And to everyone in Spiceland.
Yes, sir.
Colin, I have to tell nephew that I am not here to attack him now.
Okay.
I am here to rebut him.
All right.
And also to fact check him.
Yes.
I would like to ask nephew, how many container houses Andrew Wunis promised the people in Westmoreland? And what was the timeline of it?
Hey, hold on. February done. Hold on. February done. No container house no come yet?
Okay. The timeline
hold on. I just getting
January.
Hold on. I just getting a piece of information here. That 5,000 container house was delivered to Westmoreland 10 o'clock today. You never hear it? 5,000 container house was delivered to Westmoreland 10 o'clock today by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Congratulations, Prime Minister.
And it should have been in January, the ending of January, right?
The ending of February, the man said.
Well, I heard him say the ending of January.
I think
That's what I heard him say when
anybody
he got to
remember it was
Westmoreland and make the
anybody can
argument.
look. Hey, look, if you don't see the house, them where Andrew Holness drop off down at Westmoreland. Look, just look,
Don't step
everybody,
on that,
look.
please, ma'am. I put that way for me, put little glue on that time.
Eh?
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would like to know if nephew really consider this government, the government what is in power, if this is the government he said people should be thankful of, really, with nephew? Really? I can't believe it. People still out in an element, and nephew they look for something to be praised about, or praise this government about. Really, nephew? Go back to your bed and sleep again and wake up, or you can bite yourself to see if you are dreaming, nephew.
A caller a couple of weeks ago said that you have some people who are labor rights. They are not Jamaicans.
Well, you're right. You're right. That caller right. You know?
Yes.
But this is unbelievable. And I'm telling them, they're not gonna get one of those houses. Believe me. Because what he's doing is keeping these people to a point where they're gonna get desperate. And all they have to do is shell out a little money and they're satisfied with it.
Yes. Well, that's the style.
Yeah, you remember the situation with the fish and the water in it was which parish? Clarendon?
What you talking about? Not sure what you're talking about.
Where the fishery was damaged based on the I think there was some mining.
Oh, you're talking about Ronald Linstead there? With the
I
Rio
think that's
Cobre?
where it is. Yeah. Yes. You remember the situation on it and how that case ended up? They dragged the people them out.
Yes.
Before they to let them get desperate for the settlement, and they end up give them say 100,000 per person.
Yeah, little or nothing.
And because they were so desperate, they have them sign a paper stated they would not sue the government.
No, the government sign a paper that they would not assist anybody to sue the company.
Yeah, they got that thing. The people them sign a paper too, because the people come out and say they didn't want to have to go through another court case and battle because it takes so long for them to get a little money. But that is the style.
Me I try look for the house. Then me I look if me see the house. Then me said the house then delivered this morning. 5,000 container houses was delivered this morning. Anybody see them?
I wish along with you, Colin.
I don't wish you to wish along with me. You must see along with me. See the houses.
But you know, because I mean, and remember, you hear what he said. They should have never allowed him to tie National Housing Trust into this.
Well,
should never allow Andrew to tie National Housing Trust with this thing.
I think the National Housing Trust is giving out some grants, which they have given out some already.
Yeah, grant. Because once you give a grant, the people have the choice to put who get the grant have the choice to put their house where they want. But if he go into National Housing Trust, Andrew Holness is gonna steer it to put it where he want to put it. And as I said before, you remember I talking about gerrymandering.
Yes.
That's one of the things. Once he have the choice to steer the houses what National Housing Trust are put in, he can put it where he want to put it. So he can put a 500, 600 in that area. And then he will pinpoint who will they want to put there.
Yes.
And then he's gonna go there and do his photo up. And then you know what, the rest is history. So they should never allow him to tie it in with National Housing Trust. National Housing Trust not supposed to have anything to do with that.
Hold on there. Brother, hold on.
Yeah.
Nuts, come here. Call this man for me. Jensek, tell him someone want 10 minutes to find out if any container house, if the government deliver any container house down at Westmoreland yet. Because we here said then deliver 5,000 today. Yes, caller.
Yes, so me that like to know and that too. This man a planning thing, real planning thing to the T. And that's what it is. It's about keeping people in desperation. And anyone put the house because the people are so desperate, he's gonna get them there.
Oh, hold on. See, in fact, hold on. It's not this morning it delivered. They were delivered on Friday, the 27th of February. Because the man said at the end of February, there were 5,000 container houses were delivered on the 27th of February by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. And is that so? Anybody see them?
I don't know about that.
Anybody see the houses?
I don't have a clue about them. I don't know about them. Because I'm still watching and waiting to hear if they come.
All right, my brother.
You know
let me take a next call, see if anybody else see them. Uno see the house? Anybody uno see the container house? Marshy. Marshy, are your phone, you know? What on the phone?
Hello.
Turn off the TV. Mute the TV in the background, Marshy.
You come on, promise us something that I didn't realize. Sorry about that, man.
Me think you see the house them. 5,000 houses were delivered on the 27th of February.
I don't know if it do happen because let me tell you something. Me so political that if him bring them commerce and labor right and give them.
No man. Prime Minister no ramp them way there. The Prime Minister said the houses will be here by the end of February. When you check it out, by the end of February, the houses will be here. So, we just see one thing, yeah. Say 5,000 container houses delivered in Westmoreland on Friday, February 27th. I don't know if I AI this.
I don't know because Daryl Vaz tell me when we get back light and whole place not get none all now.
That too. Hold on. Let me link my source if everywhere get back light at Jamaica because hold on, man. See the house them, yeah, man. See the house them. Hold on, man. See sitting here, man. The man deliver the house them, man. What I hear about? You don't not follow the news, man. You don't not follow the news. Houses were delivered, man. Hold on, man. Hold on, man. Houses. Houses. Hold on, man. The man delivered the house, so, them, man. What a bid?
To who?
To who? Down at Westmoreland, 5,000 container houses. I was just trying to call Dayton Campbell, but him no answer.
Well, you need to get him. You need to get him.
You're not because pay attention,
you know the you know the solidarity program.
Yes.
You know what I go down a Warmington here. If you forget anything for the solidarity, you have to go to Warmington office.
Eh?
Yes, you have to go in office. And otherwise the PNP not get any till a justice of the peace in that era say, why didn't they just tell the people them plainly that is only labor right they're giving the solidarity thing to?
No, that is not true. I see the solidarity thing in Portland run by MP Isaac Buchanan all time office. Everybody go sign up and sort out them things.
I'm talking about all Harbour, but don't have Warmington here.
Well, me no know what going on Old Harbour. I don't know what happened in Old Harbour.
Well, I go and make you try. I go and make you find out good and proper. But listen to me, you said something to nephew. And I
Yes.
don't know if you were saying it jokingly. You know that you believe in statistics?
Yes.
Statistics say if the PNP was in power, the hurricane would not hit Jamaica, you know.
But me said that long time.
Yeah.
Me
and
said that.
statistics agree with you. Did you know that in 1951, when Hurricane Charlie hit Jamaica, it was the Bustamante government in power?
How we are, say? How we are, say?
Whatever, I believe it or not. Hurricane Flora, well, the hurricane itself never hit Jamaica, but when dangerous water, that back in 1963, it was the JLP in power.
Talk to me, because I just asked maybe a while ago, and him admit that every time a big hurricane lick Jamaica, the GLP in power. And I am saying this, and some man take me on the shaky one and in crew say me a liar because me say that if PNP did win, the hurricane would not hit Jamaica, and that is misleading people. So me I wonder now when them say
so.
Hold on, but when
statistics say so.
When them say if I did PNP in power, we could manage this. Isn't that misleading people?
Then I have nothing to prove that.
The PNP has saved Jamaica out of every economic crisis that this country has been in. It's the PNP who have rescued Jamaica.
Illiterate people can't see and know that. Illiterate people can't see and know that. When Emily and Dennis passed through, they passed near, just a little bruise.
See the house them here. See the house them here, man, deliver. On ready, people? Ready. See the house them here, where wellness deliver. Come in. Wait there. Come in. Come in. See the house them here. 5,000 houses deliver. See them there. See them there.
You need to
tell her. The man, 27th of February, the man said by the end of February, container houses will be here. Here they are. And of them that.
Well.
And of them that. And I asked them that.
If it is so, it is so, and then you hear, yes, we see something. We see them. So I wonder who will get them.
Tell her. Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse will get a house.
Well,
Daffy Duck too. Somebody says Photoshop. Somebody says Photoshop.
But well, me not put nothing past this government, because this government, they are a set of tricksters, you know. But when they look at those houses, nah, bad mouth, but them they are prepared for disaster again, you know, because you get the next category 5, you know. Them not kite them there.
Government deliver 5,000 container houses in Westmoreland.
So say all we want, the government deliver them.
See them there on the screen.
Yes.
Nobody no video them. Somebody I say AI.
Don't put, because me and knowing Andrew Wellness and nationwide, do that if it bring a live broadcast, you know?
No, man. No. They never tell nationwide.
No. Remember, you know, I said this before and I'm going to repeat it. If the JLP is opening a pit latrine, nationwide is there to give a live broadcast.
No, man. Then give me.
Oh, they're not there for this.
They look like they sent it to me exclusively.
Rababa chata. Because
this is a Portland Spice exclusive. Promise made, promise kept. Promise made, promise kept. 5,000 container houses delivered on the 27th of February keeping the promise that was made by the Prime Minister of Jamaica.
Calling Dayton Campbell. You need him. Call Nikita Bertel. Because these people supposed to know something from that side of the world. We need to know. Because
maybe they don't know. Maybe they never call them. Or George Wright then call.
yes. Colin, have you that about the hurricane statistics, sir? Statistics say if the PNP was in power, the hurricane would not come. Remember when the PNP is in power, they pass very near.
Yes.
We get a little wind here and there.
PJ lock off the light and hide them. And then pass. Andrew tell Andrew never know if he lock off the light in a day so that they couldn't see we.
Never know. And the big one when Gilbert come, it was the GLP in power again. Yes. So anytime them are come at the GLP in power, if the PNP was in power,
but me not
Melissa would do as the others.
I am not joking.
So
when me say this,
it's not joke. The statistics say so.
At the PNP won the election on September 3rd, no hurricane would have hit Jamaica. But because the people are stubborn, the people are stubborn. You get a hurricane July 2024, and then you vote back for the same party and you get a hurricane October 2025.
Again.
A category 5. Let me just take the time, Marshall, to welcome the people on Caribbean Radio. 97.9 HD4, South Florida, good evening. Good evening, Lauderhill. Good evening to Broward County, Jacksonville. Good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show as we come to you from the studios of Portland Spice TV. And remember, that is also my YouTube channel. If you have not yet subscribed to it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share Portland Spice TV. Yeah. We're talking to Marsha. Go ahead, Marsha.
Before I go, when you have a hurricane, then I give you back one more with the same name again?
No.
Well, it's not true. We did have a hurricane by the name of Andrew. It was an Andrew Willis. And that Andrew did give some strong rain and so on. But never done a damage.
Andrew, yes.
Yeah. But now we have another hurricane named Andrew. The one you know wrap up in there, Andrew Willis. Shut up out of here.
All right, Marshy. This is the Colin Bell Show, 876-804-7072. Marie, good evening. Marie? We lost Marie. Thought I'd taken the call. The Colin Bell Show, we're live on Caribbean Radio, 97.9 HD4, as we come to you from the studios of Portland Spice TV. Marie, you're mute. Evening, Marie.
Okay. Wait there. Let me turn it. Wait there.
Yeah, man.
You hearing me now, Colin?
5,000 container houses were promised by the government of Jamaica. So by the end of February, those container houses would be here. We told the people then, Marie, that we could have built over 10,000 concrete houses by that time with the same money. No houses have been built. And somebody just sent me this picture. I said, here's a picture of some of the 5,000 container houses that have been delivered by the government of Jamaica. See them there? Talk to me, Marie.
I wonder if them sure. Come here, look on one of them on the picture, Colin, and that look like something like morass. They on it like the white one, like when rain fall and something beat up. So more if I'd like for date now somebody from down here to really call you and verify that they really get the houses, even though somebody sending a picture. And you see, them house they just helter skelter put anywhere Colin, them in an order. Here was a chance for the government to build a community. You put in infrastructure with roads, sewage, all of that. What gonna happen with them container houses there, Colin? How is that gonna be done with enough for infrastructure with water and them something there? How that gonna work? I'm not seeing that if I tell them just place them. Oh, that's how we're calling?
Mary, you know, listen to news today.
No,
You never hear about
me
them
not hear
house. I said the house then deliver from last week Friday.
No, that's why I say, but I like either one of our MPs to call. Yes, somebody will criticize and say that's why people don't take us serious, guy. Everything will laugh. But if it's a joke, it's a joke. Because if us deliver from the 20 thing there, oh nobody, some dopey house them or something, oh nobody not, me not hear nobody talk about them. And I listen to all the talk program them where if them people that on top and up the buzz. Me not hear nobody else talk about it if you never bring it up today, calling 1 years and seen a picture about no house. So it's it's funny.
But
so
no, but the rest of people in the talk show never remember say Andrew did promise the house them and say well by the end of February the house then should have reached here because them have to make so they never just put on so they make them know and them reach at the end of February. And me get the news. And me get the news. You not tell nobody else. And me get the news. It's a Portland Spice exclusive.
You get exclusive.
Yeah.
Then you want to tell me, say, call him. For the way our Prime Minister, and the first man I call him, for the way the Prime Minister love photo up. Those them house that drop, and him never did for line them up and cut ribbon and all.
The Prime Minister so not gonna run off on the mouth, man, and not chat too much about me a cut ribbon, so him just deliver the 5,000 house down at Westmoreland. Westmoreland alone him deliver them.
It's secret.
George Wright run things.
I must some dopey house them there because this is unusual and regime raid and I get the news better.
Mary, you really take this serious?
No, I'm being tongue in cheek. Cause that's me I say. No photo up my ribbon. Regime raid never did it. For Abka, Marlon Davis, Hussein Boots, Barney, none of them never did it. For take picture and say promise next. Promise kept.
Then me I tell you now, promise made, promise kept. 5,000 container houses delivered.
Yeah. Got 5,000 houses.
Call everybody this need crowd.
5,000 houses is not chicken feed.
Hold on, the man. He might cut the ribbon. No. Me I go shoot.
Yeah, go cut it. Right.
No, he might cut the ribbon. Hold on, man.
You know.
Man, I'll cut the ribbon, man. Hold on, man. I'll cut the ribbon, man. Hold on, man. Man, I'll cut the ribbon. I'm showing him I'll cut the ribbon. I'm showing him I'll cut the ribbon, man. I don't think I joke. I don't think I joke.
Champion for both Colin.
Champion for both. Rum. We are sprinkle rum on them. We are sprinkle rum on the house.
All right, rum are our thing. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. But call Daryl. Daryl are the man.
More sprinkle house on them.
Daryl are the man. No. And then again to Colin. The old nephew never get the news for bus it this evening.
Get which news? The man not tell nephew nothing. Not tell nephew. No, but let's put fun and joke aside.
Nephew the class comedian. Nephew the class comedian. So them not tell him nothing.
No, the guy might talk.
You want to talk. He might come at you first with it and them never want you for no.
No, they never want me for no. That's why I'm fine it. I'm fine it. But put fun and joke aside, Caribbean radio.
You know something? You know what? And all, and something, I'm just sorry for those poor people down there, Colin, because it's March now, June too soon, July stand by. 3 months, we're looking at the start, the hurricane, them over Africa, I go and build up over there, protect time come cross, You understand me?
Yes.
And don't tell me that this government, this administration is going to make another hurricane season come up, and these people are out there under the elements, under tarpaulin, and some of them and Colin, so many houses could the construction, see the economy now with all this oil crisis with this war, the economy now they get a boost,
Long
because
time.
the construction industry would be up and running. Man, I get work, the multiplier effect, like where you are Rust and all this I talk about, this would have been going on now, what got up now? The tourism thing, I get a black eye. Because nobody not traveling now, Colin. People afraid, People afraid,
Yes.
Nobody not go travel. People scared. Nobody not going go and travel. So many know what got happen. So we'll get a further it again. you know. What me no know, you know. Andrew, you still have time to fix it, you know. Fix it. Stop the 11 point what not billion. Take that and call in some contractors and give the man them some contractors. Where you say call in, tell the man them say put them project on hold a little bit if them have nothing to do. Make the building industry, the building, the sun, the this, the that, and start something down there, make the people them get some house to live, you know. All right, Colin.
Blessings, Mary. Louise, good evening. Mama Joy, good evening. Brother Lee Croft, good evening. Jet, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. We're live on Caribbean Radio, 97.9 HD4. Go ahead, caller.
Evening, Colin.
Yes, sir.
You tell me, Prime Minister, have an excuse.
What the excuse?
Straight to Hamus, close.
That is right. then China have to go through this, or to China now have to go through this. So.
Well, that a female excuse and all the straight to Hamus, close. So
yes, and the Suez Canal closed too.
Yes. Anyway, still, you understand, I'm on call early on and talk about the education system. I'm going to really want us to forget all that has happened in the last 10 years, re-education in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Speaking as somebody who would have left the system at 25 years, I would have left out of the system. I wanted to understand that there's a lot of issues in Jamaica as it relates to education per se.
Yes.
Do you remember when there was this big uproar about failing schools?
Yes.
In the country, and there was this big debate about which schools were doing well, what was the literacy rate, even Kenyan, you know, use some of that information during the election time.
Yes.
There has been no meaningful
intervention.
What would you call it? Input into changing the status quo as it relates to education in Jamaica.
In fact, we stopped talking about it.
Exactly. And that is why I say to you, sir, don't say that the Prime Minister, we can't use him not building a school to judge him. And let me tell you why. As somebody who was once a teacher in a non-traditional high school, many of the students who are coming to the non-traditional high school, they are behind the 8 ball as it relates to literacy and numeracy. Some of them, many of them have learning disabilities. And they place them in the high school with one end goal, that at the end of grade 11, they should achieve 5 CXC or do exit examination. Now, if a man spend 3 years in infant school, 6 years at primary, come to high school and can't read, how are you going to fix that problem in a system that is set for you to do exit exam in 5 years? Because you have to teach a person if you read. Now, remember, you know, the ratio of students to teacher in high school is not 25 to 1 or 18 to 1 or 15 to 1. In some classrooms, you have up to 40, 50 students in a classroom.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody goes through and sift and say, well, these students cannot be amongst the students who have the ability. So we have to build institutions to deal with the learning disabilities that are there. You have two places that assess students in Jamaica. Samshar Teachers College, and them have a unit up there. And Michael Teachers College have a unit up there.
Yeah.
If you want to do something re-education, contact those institutions and ask them what is the rate or how many students come there to get assessed on a yearly basis, and what are the recommendations for those students in terms of their education. Because when you put those students in the main education system, many of them end up just as how they go into the system.
Yes.
Because there's nothing specific there to channel their deficiencies for them to become better.
Or even to pick up the deficiencies, because it's one of the things, Carla, that I've been talking about for a very long time. That Jamaica don't have a system or a culture of assessing our students before we determine where they go. And I started that discussion from the time that the government was saying that, or the Ministry of Education was saying that you have to have a 40% pass mark before you can participate in sporting activities in your school. And I've been saying, yeah, you can't do that until you put a system in place to assess our students, because God bless everybody differently. Not everybody going be at the top end academically. People get different talent.
Right.
And before you stop a man advancing in football or athletics without even assessing if he have the ability to learn the way how you want him to learn, you can't really disenfranchise him without you do that kind of assessment. And we've been saying that because we realize that the assessments have not been done for our children.
And look at it this way, Colin. Many of the non-traditional schools don't get the credit that they should get.
No,
because
not at
many
all.
of them get students. Many of them get students who were way behind the eight ball, and by the time they're leaving school, they would have increased in terms of their ability academically, that they end up passing 60 subjects that probably when they enter the school nobody thought they would have, right? Many of the traditional high schools, they have remedial programs in the traditional high school. And I kind of find that unbelievable. My son went to a traditional high school and he told me that there are students there who can't read. Now, these are the high school that most of the students who do the exit exam at grade 6, who do very well, end up going. But you ask yourself the question, how you find students who do well going to a traditional high school and can't read? You understand what I'm saying? So it tells me that there's a wider problem in terms of assessment and how students are placed.
No, the producer was telling us how students reach high school or can't read, reach traditional high school or can't read.
Because principal and their parents are friends.
Oh.
Yeah, well, that is true. But guess the problem. I can tell you this, that there are still students who would have been placed there through the GSAT because of their results. But the truth is, Colin, a boy might do well on an exam, but it doesn't really, people can read, but you have reading at different levels, right?
Yes.
A man can call a word, but he don't really comprehend it. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when you go to high school, you should really be capable to take on whatever is there for you to do at a high school level. But what you find is that when you go there, you literally have to be teaching the curriculum of a primary school to many of these students.
And therefore, those students should not leave the primary school, should not have left primary school.
But here the problem now, Colin. You see, we talk about where the students should be placed, but we need to also, because education is multi-dimensional enough.
Yes.
You talk about the teaching and learning process, but you also talk about the training of teachers to deal with the situations that exist with the students coming to you.
Yes.
So if a child comes in at primary school and can't read, how robust are the programs there to deal with remedial students? Because you have to capture those students from the primary level and deal with them there before you come to the high school level in order to get them to function at that level. But how robust are the programs in the primary school? And is it that we need to do an assessment? Well, the Patterson report was done, and how many of those recommendations were ever adopted and put into
Well, they claim that they are now implementing some of those recommendations, but very few have been implemented thus far.
I can tell you this. For the amount of students that enter high school that can't read, Colin, there should be in every parish at least a school that is built to deal with students with remedial issues. Because the truth is, you train teachers to come out and teach at the high school level.
Yes.
But the type of training that they get, they don't get the training to deal with students who have learning disabilities.
You have specialist teachers who are trained to deal with those students with learning disabilities, But I don't think the assessment is far-reaching enough to map these students early and get them into those special programs so as to bring them up to speed.
But how many? The problem is, Colin, how much of those programs exist?
Well,
I can tell you
that
that
I
a
couldn't
lot of
answer.
programs like those exist. You understand what I say?
Yeah.
So we are losing a lot of work. Yo, when a boy reach 9th grade and he can't read, no kind of peer problem in school.
Yeah, man, definitely. Definitely.
Listen to what I say. I talk to you as a former dean and discipline vice principal.
Yeah.
And we have to deal with school. And remember now, you see, me tell us education is multifaceted.
Yes.
The environment plays a lot as it relates to how our students function.
Yes.
And if a child is coming out of a depressive environmental state, coming to school is like a release point for him. And most times, coming to school is like an escape. And when you're in school, you do things at school and you're supposed to do things at home to help you to further what you would have learned at school. But if you can't do it in your home, then you are behind. That is what helps you to go behind the eight ball. You see, if the social, economic status of our students don't change, and this is why I don't agree when they say that poverty is down in the country. I don't agree.
I don't believe that. I think that is trying to bamboozle the Jamaican people, twisting the figures to say that poverty is down. Because I bring you back to March 2025 when Andrew Holness did his budget presentation. Poverty was at 12%. And by them start get ready for the election, poverty gone down to 9 and 8%. Who then think them a trick?
You see what I feel?
It better than they try and use the house them.
All of them because something affect education, whether we believe it or not. Like you can't feed a youth, if you don't have good transportation, and that is why I'm so disappointed in the Jamaican people, voters, because with all that would have been going on and the lack of amenities and all of that, and what was put before them, they could have been in a better position. You would have had a person going into the education sector who understand the rudiments and could have probably put policies in place to make corrections. But we never do that. And
Jamaican people weren't interested in education. They were interested in $5,000 and $10,000 and $20,000.
You're right, Colin, you're right. But you see, if a nation is going to do well, and I'm going to use our neighbors, Cuba. Cuba was said to be a communist country, but the literacy rate, the highest literacy rate in the Caribbean was in Cuba.
Yeah, man.
Because they put a lot of effort in educating the masses in their country.
Yes.
We are a democratic country, but our leaders successively have not placed the emphasis on education that they really should have.
Yeah.
And because of that, we are paying politically, economically, because
even
when you listen
socially.
to Ralston, and socially too. Yes. When you listen to Ralston, one of the things that Ralston says every day is that you must train the workforce.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's why we have low skill, low tech, low income economy.
Exactly. And if we don't, and when Singapore was on their way to developing to become a first world country, one of the things that they placed the greatest emphasis was on their education system.
Yeah, man, and cutting education and cutting corruption.
Right. So if as a developing country, we don't see the importance of educating our masses, then we're doomed to fail.
Definitely.
I'll leave it at that.
All right, my brother. Enough respect. You're watching the Colin Bell Show. You're listening to the Colin Bell Show live on Caribbean Radio. 97.9 HD4. Yeah, man, we're taking your calls at this time. 876-804-7072. Tell him I send him the link. We're taking your calls. So if you want to join in the discussion, give us a call. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Yeah, the last time we talked to you.
Yes.
Was about the bus thing where we forget some more bus. I want to get the bus then.
Yes.
What going with that?
Why? I hear Darrell say 82 bus there. And then me I hear arguments say all of the bus then there. One thing me know is that Darrell is saying that he want $2 billion more to buy 100 brand new bus now. Come now. So I don't know how we're going to give $2 billion more to go buy a bus now after I squander 1.4 already. I am saying to Andrew, don't give him 1 red cent until the Auditor General complete our audit.
Yeah, that will never happen.
But saying the Auditor General are going to audit it, man. They are going to audit those buses.
When we talk to you the other day,
yes,
you said you was going to talk to Mikhail,
which I did. You're playing something in the background. We're hearing some noise in your background.
Oh, sorry for that, man. Yeah, what you need?
Yeah, man. I spoke to Mikhail for about almost an hour. Mikhail is not sure how many of the buses we got. Said he would find out for me. So we still not get an answer for how much of the buses were delivered.
But look here. When we cut off, we reach a point where we ask you when the Prime Minister the opposition leader who is now Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Did carry government court about the housing trust money.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, I ask you, if you can't get no information from the Minister of Transport now, you can find out something I could make into the country what
with the boss them?
Yeah.
Mr. We are going to find out the Auditor General audit it. So the Auditor General will table a report in the Parliament on those buses.
Okay.
An audit is an audit is going on. I believe it is ongoing right now.
Okay.
Yeah, man. It must come. It must come, man. That can't go so.
Okay.
Can't go so.
So tell me now. The house them will say come Friday. They will put them for a government land.
Then put them down already, man. You know, so me show you them. Hold on, man. You must need to see. See the house them, man. Them put down already. See them,
but what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I saw them all put them down chaka.
Pringle. No house no come, man. No house no come. Agyo. Because the man said the container house them would have reached by the end of February. And we were saying that if you build some concrete house, you could have done them before February. And some people are saying a bad mind with bad mind. So if February done on the house, then no come, they must deliver their house a Friday gone.
Okay.
Because a man send me them picture and say, see house them here, Shaka.
Oh, that's no good. Anyway.
Talk to me.
Anyway. When them houses come, you see?
Yes.
And I believe they're going to come.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They're going to put them on government land. Or they must scatter them all over to people who have damage to their house.
I don't know if they want to put them on government land or they want to put them on the people them land, whoever they might give them to. But anything this government do, you have to look through your third eye. Open up your third eye. You ever hear the song of Taurus Riley singing Parables? Yeah, man. You have to open up your third eye and look. Because the man not play.
Yeah, you don't know what they're planning to do, but tell me now.
Yeah.
A full constituency.
Which one?
The one where we also are going on.
Well, I don't think I want constituency them all.
No, Westmoreland.
But if they're going to Westmoreland, one of the constituencies run by Dayton Campbell, one by Dwayne Vaz, and one by Ian Hills. And over in Hanover is two. Yes, over in Hanover is also 2 PNP constituencies. That's why those constituencies I get everything last.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, me I wanted a question for you.
Go ahead.
The other day, me say, are the House leader? Who is the Minister of Agriculture? In the Parliament?
Yeah.
No, Minister of Agriculture, the House leader.
Yes, Floyd Green, lead of government
just,
business in the House.
Me see him get up and him start read a document, right?
Yes.
And he said, I'm going to replace Crawford with
Dr. Dawes.
With Dr. Dawes.
Yes.
But him never thought the reason why.
No, him never thought the reason why. But I'll tell you, Damien asked to be removed from the PAAC.
But how him come up and talk? Before me ask something. Damien did in a parliament that day, right?
Yes, he was.
What kind of necktie Damien have on?
You don't know, one kind of yellowish type of necktie.
A yellow?
It look like yellow to me. Some people say a green, but it look like yellow to me. It could also be green, but one thing was sure, it wasn't the Labourite green. And Damien will not become a Labourite.
And it don't matter what green. But my eye, I know my eye no bad at all. Me a 75-year-old.
I say you're old Pringle. How I say? I say you go on. Yeah, but well, man.
Yeah, me old man.
Anyway, we're gonna run.
Yeah, man. Hold on, man.
Yeah.
It was a green tie. And me I said to myself, how the man just come on and read that and then tell the reason why it looks suspicious to me.
Well, as I tell you, it was Damien who asked to be removed from the PAs.
Yeah, but that you know. But to how him read, it come in like something Agwad, you know.
All right,
so
my
anyway,
brother.
Respect, sir.
Yeah, man. Conrad O'Brien, good evening.
Hi, Colin. How you doing, man?
We're there in a Wagwan.
Boy, they feel a little bit tired, cause boy, heavy work today. Heavy work yesterday. Yeah, man. I think the people them rough. You know, call us them rough, but you know, but it's what it is. It's what it is. Colin, you see, signal is very, very important, and you know, there you have it. Damien may have gone into the parliament in a green tie, quite innocent, but signal is very important. And in the political scheme of things, that everything people read into, you have to be careful. And I think he made a mistake with that. Anyhow, not going to detain myself on that. Good afternoon and good evening to your listeners and viewers. Colin, now, I just want to point out something. I sent you a short clip there. I think it would be important for you to play it.
You sent it. I am unable to play it because you sent it in an Instagram to our Instagram link. To our Instagram link. I don't have the time to go transfer and
Oh, you don't have the Instagram link on the system there. Oh, not a problem. Not a problem. That was the one of the top person at the United States Embassy, you know, where the question was posed to him about the interest that the US have in the Western Hemisphere at this time. Very interested there. But I want to just say this, Colin. I don't know how many of your listeners have been to Cuba or talk to people who visit Cuba on a regular basis and understand Cuba's democracy. Because from time to time, democracy, yes, Cuba's democracy. And I'm happy that you double down there because Cuba has the most robust internal democracy. Jamaica can't walk in a Cuba internal democracy. United States can't walk in a Cuban internal democracy. Everything that Cuba is putting forward, the people are asked to vote on it. Absolutely. I'm going to say to you that one of the things that we here in Jamaica still scoff at, the whole business of homosexuality and same-sex marriage and so on. It wasn't the government of Cuba that forced that on the people. It was the democracy. It was put to the people. The people voted for it and so on. And that is how the
voted
Cubans...
For same-sex marriage?
Absolutely, among other things. I'm saying that they voted for that to
So
show.
hold on.
Mhm.
Same-sex marriage is legal in Cuba? Is that what you say?
Absolutely. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Oh, well,
Yes, it
yes.
is. Yes, it
Yeah.
is. And
Fire
I
for
would,
that. Fire
and I
gun
would,
for that.
and I would urge you, good, because we are hardcore heterosexual men. So we're not condoning, but I'm just speaking to the system, because one of the things that we have to understand is that we can speak to a system or speak about a system without supporting something, and that's where I'm at.
Why the people in Cuba don't get to vote to choose their own government, to choose a government? Why they don't get to vote to choose a government?
Why they don't get to vote to choose a government?
Yeah.
Well, Cuba have a one party thing, but I'm just talking about the whole aspect of what they do, how everything is done with in Cuba. There's a very, very robust, and I would urge you to speak to somebody like a Paul Burke, and that I had Paul on today, and Paul is very, very close to some of the things that's happened. The fact of the matter is that there's a lot of suffering that is taking place in Cuba at this time that come about as a result of the embargo and what happened in recent time from the United States of America. The pushback. But guess what? The people of Cuba basically is backfired, because the people of Cuba not blaming their government for whatever hardship is coming to them. They're blaming the American system, and that is why you see even now there's a kind of pushback now with the speech that our Prime Minister made, and we hear further that there is some reprieve that is coming to the people of Cuba, where there will be some amount of oil that will be offloaded or sold to Cuba, but they're saying that it's not going to be sold to the government, it's going to be sold through the private sector and so on and so forth. I don't know how that would work anyway, because essentially a lot of the operations are state control within Cuba. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that navigate. We also understand that there is a lot of solar panels and a lot of things that are coming through from Canada, I'm sorry, and also Jamaican government is also Jamaica is also giving some assistance to Cuba in that regard as well.
But Cuba can make their own solar panel in the OB. Cuba have that technology.
Yeah, man, I'm aware, but whatever they needed to basically up the ante and that, those things are coming through from Canada, and I gather that some they will be getting some amount of help from Jamaica. Don't know if it's private help or it's by way of the government basically giving them some assistance on a humanitarian ground. So,
but coming out of the Caribbean Heads of Government meeting that was held in St. Kitts last week,
yes,
after 4 days of meeting, the Caribbean heads could not tell us exactly when they are going to start assisting Cuba and in what way.
Which certainly, Colin, is a colossal failure on the part of the heads, and because what happened, Colin, we have some amount of clout in CARICOM, but we don't have that clout single-handedly. We don't have that clout on an insular basis. We have to come together in order to basically work on economical scale. And that is why, in my view, I continue and I will hold this view till I go to my grave. That's one of the biggest mistake that are I don't even know if I would call it mistake, but wickedness that was carried out on the people of Jamaica and by extension the Caribbean is when we did not federate. Colin, just imagine, we basically have a federation, right? And we are all as a Caribbean on one block, like the United States or any other part of the world that we can use that is unblocked. So we have the land mass in Guyana. We now have oil in Guyana. Guyana is the only Caribbean country that is self-sufficient in terms of food. right? Because they have that kind of agriculture-based land that they can plant. And we also have tourists in Jamaica. We have oil in Trinidad again. We have down in the Spice Island so many things and so on. Just imagine us having free movements, and as a people, we have that. What would
but
could
isn't
we
there
be?
free movement right now, Obi? There's free movement in the Caribbean.
No, but that is something that come about within recent time, and there are still problem with that free movement, as it were. We're still not quite there.
Let's bring in Ralston, man. Raleigh, good evening.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
How you doing,
Hi,
man?
Raleigh.
Yeah, man. There. Blessed Obi.
Respect.
What is going on, Raleigh, with the Jamaican economy? How are we doing today?
Everything's quiet today. Everybody talking about the potential impact of the increasing oil prices on the based on what is happening in the Middle East. That's a main economic problem globally right now.
And there's no cushion. Jamaica have no cushion to stop that.
No.
Yesterday we spoke really about the edge tax that the government have been taken since 2016 and have not really insured us against any volatility in the oil market. Are we hearing anything from the government coming out of that? Raleigh?
Yeah, man. No, we haven't heard anything, but we expect to hear something.
When? How soon?
Well, Parliament met today. We haven't heard anything coming out of Parliament, but this is an urgency.
They didn't meet today. I think today we
They
had
never met today.
I think we had a joint select committee on the child diversion, and the PAC also met today.
Okay. Well, we expect them to. We expect something to be said about what they're going to do, because this is an.
And we see already where oil prices is going up.
Yeah, man. Brent closed at $83. West Texas almost $80 today.
So go ahead,
Sorry.
Obi.
So no, I was just coming in on the oil thing. Raleigh, yesterday we heard that there was a 9% increase. But when you do extrapolation today, what's the overall percentage between yesterday and today increase? Have you checked the
yesterday
percentage?
was 5% and change with Brent, and West Texas was up by 4%. So today we are up by about 7% today.
7%.
West Texas trading at $77 and Brent traded at $83 today.
Wow. Right, if I may, Colin, can I follow up on another thing?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Raleigh.
Hold on, Raleigh was saying something else, Obi. Just hold a second. Go ahead, Raleigh.
Okay.
No, man, go ahead, man.
Yeah, Raleigh. I was saying that when the GG was on his feet and delivered the throne speech, certainly we did not have these kind of headwinds, such as the perceived decline in tourism, which we're going to see from what is happening now, also the increase in oil price and so on, and the inflation impact that we will have from this. What do you expect? So the minister, we're looking at different numbers. Now that we're seeing this, what do you expect from the minister? How will they pivot, and the government by extension?
Well, it is now urgent that the asset tax will have to go. It is also urgent that more emphasis must be placed on renewable energy. It is also important that the inflation target be revised. And it is also important that we have a strategy to grow the economy to generate more foreign exchange. And it's also important that we diversify our production and export base so that we are not so reliant on the Republic of the United States of America. So we have to see some recalibration of the budget numbers and the government's global strategy. Although we know that they have one.
I want to read something that was in Bloomberg yesterday. Qatar shut down liquefied natural gas production at the world's largest export facility after it was targeted in an Iranian drone attack, sending European gas prices soaring more than 50% and rattling the global energy market. What the future looks like, Raleigh?
Well, everything is tumbling right now because the straits are closed, and the Donald says that he's going to use the U.S. Navy to escort ships through. So the collision is going to be even greater because the Iranians, that's the last card that they have to play. And they say they are going to burn the ships and to burn the pipeline. So you can see a clash between U.S. Navy and the Iranian forces in the Straits of Hormuz, which means that the prices are even going to go higher. So
And
we thought.
some news media are saying that there are mines in the strait already where Iran put in there since them
Yeah,
realized
no,
that
because
there
they say they
might
are
be a
going to
war.
burn they say they are going to burn the pipelines.
Go ahead, Obi.
Raleigh, just paint a picture for us. You see the impact on this in the United States in particular, and how will that now dovetail into Jamaica, US being our #1 trading partner and where we get majority of our remittance from, and also our tourists. Paint that picture for us, please.
Well, it means that inflation will accelerate. The Fed has no more room to bring down interest rates. The economy will slow down. People will lose jobs. The stock market is already tumbling, so it means that the wealth effect, more people are losing money and becoming poorer. That will have a negative impact on the remittance and tourism flows into the Jamaican economy. Jamaica's oil bill will get higher. The trade deficit will get wider. The central banks won't be able to bring down interest rate anymore, and the Jamaican economy will continue with the stagnation. This is a global problem, The entire global economy is going to slow because inflation is going to accelerate. International central banks are now hard pressed. They can't bring down interest rates anymore. And that means growth will be slow all around. That is why all leaders right now are concerned about the madness that the Donald is doing. He's derailing the global economy.
And what about the fear of travel?
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you the tourism will be under significant pressure.
Can we do anything to help ourselves, Raleigh?
Well, it means that we have to focus more on things like food security and energy security. So we have to look at renewable energies. We have to build out the agricultural sector and those things.
And this one is for you, Colin. Because if your sector, Colin, the sector that we really love, the orange economy and so on, even that sector, unless we're basically going to look at it from an electronic point of view or so on, even that sector is under siege because to put those
the entire global economy will be affected. So people will be afraid to go anywhere large crowds are, so stadium and all of those things because
But you see, with that said, Raleigh and Obi, that is why the culture and the creative industry is such an industry, because when people stay home, they are still looking for entertainment within their household. And we've been investing in this industry. Even during COVID, when you hear people talk about entertainment closed down, it was just a small aspect because screen, television, is what people turn to in these times.
And that is why, Colin, I phrase my question in that way to say, the bill out that we have been talking about, we are not there. So the short term to benefit from the industry would be about a mass gathering, bringing concerts and so on. And as Raleigh said, certainly that area, and I've been saying it, that immediately from the first drone move, with the scenario in the Middle East, the world has become a less safer place. I've been talking to people in the United States who are now afraid to go out to dine in restaurants.
Nobody wants to move.
Yep. Because they know that the lone wolves are out there. So no flying, no cruise shipping, no big entertainment crowds, no stadia, them kind of thing there. Yeah.
What do you think going to happen to the World Cup, Raleigh? Football World Cup.
It is going to flop.
Must.
I said to FIFA yesterday, you need to move all the matches that was planned for the United States of America. That's the
Yeah,
only
but
way that
too,
the World Cup can
too
continue.
late now.
Too late?
Too late. Yeah, man.
The
Very
other thing,
unfortunate situation.
Will there be a postponement of the World Cup because of this war?
Well, if I was FIFA, I'd do that.
Obi?
outside of out and out postponement from FIFA, do you expect a number of countries to basically withdraw from this World Cup rally?
Yeah, many of the Middle Eastern countries.
Will they be withdrawing in protest or for security concerns?
Both of them, security and protest.
But let's look, Raleigh, we did talk about it yesterday. But let's look at the 2.4 billion US dollars that the government said that the multilaterals were mobilizing for
That's
Jamaica.
not going to happen.
So,
that's not going to happen.
None of it?
If any, very little. Because remember before that, before all of these events, we only got 300 million in it. So what makes you believe now that the whole place is in turmoil and investors running for cover in safe haven like gold and bonds and those things that you think they're going to be investing in anything? Not going to happen.
That is to say, Raleigh, that once again we are going to see a record decline in FDI.
Mr.
Yeah,
Bell,
man.
hold on, caller, hold on. We have a call on the line, gentlemen. Go ahead, caller. Ralston Hyman, Conrad O'Brien, they are also online. Go ahead.
Yeah, I hear Christopher Tufton did come out with one thing where there. And then the Prime Minister come back with it, say Jamaica and the population.
Underpopulated.
Enough fit in our band. And then, hello?
Yeah,
when
man.
You work out when you work out a young girl, if you have a child with minimum wage, and then promise the people them $32,000, $16,000 can't take care of baby mother. Eh? And then me hear them on social media say, Anne-Marie Vaz have a daughter. She pregnant on a foreign, she gonna have her baby.
I don't know. You may I hear that from now.
Yes, man, but it is not just them alone. A lot of people now
but
who have visa. It is a choice now of having kids in America.
But you know,
Jamaicans,
Trump is bringing laws against that, right?
Yeah, man, Donald said that can't work again.
So
but if you show you the system of Jamaica, because it is so bad, nobody don't want to have them picking in Jamaica because they lack of opportunity.
Let's ask the economists why the birth rate in Jamaica is slowing. Does that have anything to do with the state of the Jamaican economy, Ralston?
Yeah, man, poor economic conditions, man. The people them say them can't have no children in Jamaica. The poor economic conditions and the violence in the country. People now moving in that direction.
Most
of them uptown people, I find them you know a lot of them, as a grandchild pregnant or the daughter, they shut off to Miami, to Florida.
Yeah, but that now work again.
And then
That now work again.
You know, back in Jamaica.
But
it's when you work it out.
No, but it can't happen again.
Hold on. It is still happening. People are still going overseas to have their children. What is happening? What is happening is that the citizenship aspect of it, Donald Trump is basically cutting that out. But the people are still doing that. People who can afford it, they are still making America the choice of overseas, the choice of having their children. A lot of people still doing it.
Yeah, but the most important reason for doing that is the citizenship thing, and Donald is saying that that's not going to work again.
Yeah,
agreed.
They're not going to go sake. Them go there because they want the citizenship.
They want the child to be an American citizen.
And Donald said that now work again. You know, being kingdom. So Donald is actually.
Well, go ahead, caller.
But that show you say, with all our Andrew Ollis and Tufton say, Jamaica is not the choice of having kids, especially for the young people.
Yeah, man.
Most of the young girls now are dolly, you know. So they're not interested in that.
Yeah, man, that's correct.
Pick up themselves and put on bottom and breast. Them not no time filtration, them shape. You know, how the cost of living. The money can't stretch with all of that. You understand? But most of them are more fortunate to have dual citizen. You know, they from them that is how a lot of the youth them become dual citizen, you know.
Yes.
Them parents, you know.
Yeah, but
you have
what we are
They want
saying
to
to you,
that now
caller,
work again.
the Donald is cutting that out.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
When them call it the Bertha bill.
Yeah, man.
Yes. Donald focus on the war now. He doesn't have time for that. And in no time he will be gone. By 2 years from now, he will be history.
Yeah, the world mash up by that though. All right, respect.
Case. That's another case. Yeah,
respect.
all right, cool.
Raleigh, the Bank of Jamaica was set to mop up what, $20 billion sometime this week. Is that still on?
Yeah, man. Them not changing.
So when you continue to mop up the money, are we going to get 4 to 7% growth in the economy?
That is a joke, man. You really believe that?
No, but we know that is what is needed, Raleigh. We know that is what is really needed.
Yeah, but they're not mindful. They're not putting in any place any policies to achieve that. Remember, although they say that within the same document, them say, by the way, we're going to decline by 4.5% this year, 0.5% next year, grow by 3.3% thereafter, 2.6% thereafter, and then we're back down to 1% in 2030.
Where that 3% growth is going to come from, Raleigh? What they're going to do to get that 3% growth?
Well, we would need to hear from
2029?
Yeah? Mm-hmm.
Where that's going to come from?
We need to hear from the minister when she makes a presentation as to how we're going to get that, because that wasn't feasible from day one, and it is worse now that the Donald is doing what he's doing.
But Raleigh, even based on the extrapolation that you just did, what we'll be having, because we'll be declining. So basically, when we move to if we should even move back to that 3% growth in what? Year 3, year 4? What we'll be doing is we'll be basically just be getting back.
We're recovering. We won't be back to
we'll just be recovering.
Yeah.
Raleigh and Colin, if I may, there's something that hit the news last night, and it's a discussion that has been ongoing, but certainly it's come full circle. And for those of us who have a little vintage, who understand the 807 in the 1980s, I for one know women who bled in that environment because the environment was so toxic and so on. They developed all sorts of problems in the garment sector. We heard something similar to that coming through from young women who are working in the call center. I was talking to a young man just this afternoon. He was working there, and he said that after they take out whatever taxes out of the money at the call center on a 2 weeks basis, they are going home with $32,000 per fortnight, Ralston Hyman.
That's straight minimum wage.
We know that, man. We know that is a low wage environment. We know that. And it's going to get worse now, given what the Donald is doing and the American economy is slowing.
The other conversation there, Raleigh, that the young man tell me, and what they said last time, our labor law is being breached by the BPO sector.
But also, Obi, if they're getting the $16,000, how is the labor law being breached?
All right. Let me tell you. First thing to begin with, they're asked to our work week is supposed to be work is supposed to be 8 hours. 8 hours for the day, right? 40 hours. What happened? And that 8 hours supposed to include 1 hour for lunch and break. Well, lunch, right?
Yeah.
Now, what they are being asked to do is to work 9 hours. So they are supposed to work 8 on the trot on the job, and the additional 9 hour. 1 hour, make 9. That is what they get for their break. So that in itself is a clear breach of the labor law. Am I correct, Raleigh?
Almost every sector, including the government, is breaching the labor law. Nobody is enforcing the labor law in Jamaica, including the government of Jamaica. I'll talk to the trade unionists, they'll tell you.
So where is the Minister of Labor in this
breaking the labor law? BPO breaking the labor law, the government itself breaking the labor law, almost every sector breaking the labor law.
Where is our good friend? Because I'm not deny him, I'm a good friend, the Minister. And I know he's your friend, Raleigh. And I think I call him friend too. Where is he in this?
No,
What
no,
is
my
he
friend.
doing?
Him now talk to me.
Well, as I said, the cabinet itself, the cabinet itself, the government of Jamaica, not focus on the country's labor law. And the trade union leaders themselves, they are not as focused as they used to be in the 1970s. So right across the board, yeah.
So the Jamaican people are being allowed to take advantage of
just roll
this
again.
advantage.
Yeah, man. It's not like when they had Michael Manley and...
Hold on the OG, where's the rally?
Yeah, it's not like when they had Michael Manley, you share Lascelles, Beckford, Upton, Cavan, and all of those people. Yeah, it's a different thing now. I mean, the trade union movement is extremely weak right now in Jamaica, just like the civil society movement, just like the University of the West Indies, just like our colleagues. I mean, the man them just do what they do.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to the Colin Bell Show. We're talking to Ralston Hyman, the top economist in Jamaica, the top economic financial analyst on the island. We're talking also to Conrad O'Brien from Sleek FM, Sleek 93 FM. And we're discussing Jamaica's position right now as it relates to the war that is going on in the Middle East. How will Jamaica navigate this time of economic crisis that is coming? We can see it coming. How will Jamaica be navigating this? Ralston, when if and when oil price hit $100 US per barrel, what will the Jamaican economy look like?
Well, the oil bill will be somewhere in the region of $2.5 billion, almost $3 billion. So it means that more pressure will be on the exchange rate. It means that the trade deficit will widen.
Yes.
It means that the Bank of Jamaica won't be able to bring the interest rates down anymore because inflation will accelerate. And the stagnation and decline will continue. The last time oil prices reached that level, we had Venezuela to help us out. We do not have Venezuela to help us out again.
And absolutely, Raleigh. And this is so all pervasive, because remember that every aspect of commerce that you talk about, including is inclusive of transportation, and it means that you're going to see increases in every sector, from the flour to the rice, to sugar, everything.
Cost of living decline.
Everything.
Yeah.
What should the government of Jamaica start doing right now, to combat this? Is there anything that the government can do to combat this?
Well, in terms of the oil prices, I mean, there's very little that they can do about international oil prices. So it means that the energy policy, which they have been stalling on from a long time, they'll have to accelerate the implementation of an energy policy. And it means that also they'll have to bring the interest rates down so that we can see some movement in terms of growth in the economy. More firms can get money to go into the economy and grow their business. It means that they'll have to focus more on agriculture. It means that they'll have to fast track the rehabilitation of the West, which they have been very dilatory on. Yep.
That getting down of the interest rate there, Raleigh. That getting down of the interest rate there, Raleigh. You're saying that what they would have to do now is to put policy position in place, because we have been seeing where the interest rate has been going down back from the BOJ, but certainly we're not seeing that throughput in terms of the commercial bank. So what are you inserting now that the government will have to take action in order to force the commercial bank to basically give that reduction in the interest rate?
The banks have already made their position clear. The asset tax is 10 years overdue to go.
And if that don't go, the interest rate now drop.
Yeah, the banks have already made their position clear.
Let's take a call. Caller, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. We're live on Caribbean Radio, 97.9 HD4. Go ahead.
It's a shop Kawagwa.
We're there, brother. Raleigh up on the line. Conrad O'Brien up on the line.
Oh, big up. Raleigh and Mr. Brian.
Yeah, man. Blessing.
Respect, Papa.
Yeah, your house, they made a kind of little piece, but I don't know.
The who?
Yeah, I see that. The house, them.
Oh, the 5,000 houses that were delivered last week, Friday?
Yeah, the picture of them when I see I show there. I think we see them picture there in the Caribbean, like them I say, hurricane before that one in the Caribbean. I think them that them must them that promote them house there.
Yeah,
somewhere in the Caribbean.
Hold on there. Yeah, Raleigh.
Them house they will take longer for come now.
them come already, Raleigh. See them there? They come Friday gone. The Prime Minister say at the end of February they end reach. See them there, they reach.
They reach.
Yeah, see them there.
Oh.
Now I look at Caribbean Island where the hurricane they mash up before this one. What name there?
Which one?
Ivan.
Ivan
no,
did
man,
mash
just
up.
recently, man.
Beryl.
The one after Melissa.
The one before Melissa. Beryl.
Yeah. I did liquor was about St. Vincent and them place there.
Yes, Beryl did mash up some place.
Yeah, so yeah, them house I didn't see somewhere promote them island like them. I say, boy. So me I say what kind of surprise the same thing about one that go for.
Anyway, my brother.
You know, Colin.
We are go up on the house. Them don't take it serious here. I'm at the Prime Minister. We are the Prime Minister.
Serious thing I go on now.
But your rally said them house they gonna take longer to come. Why they gonna take longer to come now, rally?
Because of the problem with shipping in that region. Every ship we are going to have to pay more insurance and all of them things. Yeah? Too much missiles are fire left, right, and center around all them places. So all them things there, the supply chain have a big problem again because of the problem relating to shipping.
But the fact that the Prime Minister and the government was willing to buy container house instead of building these houses using Jamaican resources and keeping the money here, doesn't that show that they lack understanding of what it takes to grow an economy?
Them don't know what them doing. How much time we gonna say that? Them don't know what them doing. They must spend money to China and I create jobs in China or richer than Jamaica rather than spend the money. You know, if them did start them house, they know how much house that build on this already.
Oh, you mean?
Yeah, you know the recovery would have been on track down this already. You know how many people would have been employed on this already. You know what GCP them would have collect down this already.
All right.
Absolutely.
Critical thinking, man.
Them lack what?
Yeah, man, them don't know what them doing, man.
Critical thinking.
They lack critical thinking.
Yeah, man.
That is it.
Yeah, man.
All right, caller, give thanks. Go ahead, Obi.
One would remember Richard Pandoe of the separate group during COVID, how he lament the high cost of shipping and how difficult things were during COVID. We are back there, if not at a worse place.
Yeah, man.
Right? That's the situation, and that I want to raise a quick thing. I don't know if Raleigh, because of where he's at, will be able to say anything on this, but I must raise it nonetheless, because it's something that basically impacts the industry that we are in, the media landscape. A couple of weeks ago, Colin, I sent you a communique that I received that 2 stations from the RGR group.
Let's not take on that with Raleigh on the line, OB, because as you know, Raleigh is basically involved in that. So let's not take that on with Raleigh on the line. We can talk about that outside of Raleigh presence.
All right, no problem.
Fair enough, Raleigh?
Yeah, man.
There's an article here, though, that says PIOJ warns of where you going? PIOJ warns of recession as economic contract. Raleigh, we tell the people that the Jamaican economy is going into a recession. Speak to us about that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Them finally now make a fool of themselves and come out and admit that rather than that what they did during Barrett. Yeah. Wayne Henry made a fool of himself in relation to Barrett.
Him learn from you, Raleigh.
Yeah,
you think him their class?
Yeah, man.
But you know, I heard the man Simon the other day, and I was very disappointed that Simon never asked him how come when we had 3 consecutive quarters of decline, you were saying that the country was not in a recession. I was very disappointed.
Because if they listen to Marlon at the time, so. No, you know, Wayne didn't really make a fool of himself with that one, then, boy. I tell you. He really made a fool of himself.
PR, man.
As a matter of fact, remember,
technical.
you know, Raleigh and Colin, is that the man them attempt to redefine the definition of
recession.
recession.
That themselves look very stupid, yeah.
The Jamaican economy shrink shortly at the end of last year, and the country now faces what the Planning Institute of Jamaica calls a negative short-term outlook, with the real risk of a recession if the slide continues into the current quarter.
So we can almost sign off on that, Colin, because we know that the slide will continue based on the whole geo-economic geopolitics. There's no doubt. So we can check the box. We can tick the box.
Presenting the preliminary outturn for the October-December 2025 quarter at the PIOJ's quarterly briefing today, Director General Wayne N. reported that the real value added fell by 7.5% compared with the same period of 2024.
That's massive. Raleigh, that's massive.
Repeat that, Colin.
No, what he's saying is that Wayne N. reported that real value added fell by 7.5% compared with the same quarter in 2024.
Wow, that's massive.
Massive.
7.5%.
That is big. Just imagine, Colin and Raleigh and listeners, viewers, where you're hit by a 7.5 category not hurricane.
He's saying that this is the steepest quarter decline since COVID-19,
yeah, man.
In 2020.
That's a massive earthquake there, man. Massive. That basically destroyed the entire New Kingston and a tear down downtown and all about the place.
Yeah, man. Massive.
Really?
Yeah, man. Massive.
That kind of impact the way I feel?
Yeah, man. And then the question we need to ask him now, as a technician, you recommend that government tax rate after we have this massive decline?
Yeah, all that work, all that will come out now.
I'm sorry, the people have never asked him that. How you recommend and approve government taxing after we have this massive decline? As an economist, which part you learn economics from?
Raleigh,
yeah.
The thing gets even worse, because here is it now. Remember, part of this tax package is said to tax the traveling officers, which include one of our most critical area, deans of discipline, guidance counselors, and so on. As I had the JTA president, the 61st JTA president, Mr. Mark Malava, yesterday, and they're crying. He's crying for because this is going to impact that sector in a big way. So even remember now that we are already told that at least 1,200 students that were in school before the hurricane, they cannot be identified. So you need more guidance counselor, more deans of discipline to be out there now, and they will be impacted by this shock by way of the taxation rally. How do you basically reconcile that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm more broadly speaking, they'll be taxing consumption, they'll be taxing production at the same time. So, you know, we must understand and explain how we recommend a policy like that after a 7% drop in the economy. When you have a recession and when you have a shock, what you do is to provide a stimulus to the economy, not to contract the economy, not to pursue contractionary policies. So who can tell us that them know what them are doing? Which part of them learn that in our economics? Which economic textbook, which economics philosophy that come out of?
Hear what Wayne Henry say. While grim, the outturn was not as catastrophic as feared in the storm immediately aftermath. It should be noted, however, that this estimate outturn of 7.5% contraction is better than initially projected immediately after the passage of the hurricane. To decline within the region of 11% to 13%, he noted, attributing the revalue improvement to resilient and industry. But here what I'm saying now, the goods producing industry contracted by 9.3%, with all 4 constituent industries down.
Agriculture, construction, manufacturing.
Him say agriculture and fishing led the pullback, falling 12.6%. Damage farm infrastructure, crop, and livestock. Him go further. Other agricultural crops content was estimated to have contracted by 23.6%.
So what I tell them, sir?
Him say mining and quarry even deeper contracted by 37.3% after the hurricane. Manufacturing minus 7.8%. Food, beverage, and tobacco weakened. Broiler meat down by 12.4%.
Yeah, because we know a lot of the 30% there of the small farmer get serious battering. But you know, Colin and Raleigh, a caller today, even though we talk about the decline in the agriculture sector, but we know that a lot of our farmers went back into the field shortly after and put in what we commonly call cash crop, right? But I am getting the information out of senses with somebody who was on the ground today that melon is down there to stone dog, not to mention tomato. And we talk about even the big one that we call salad, we commonly call salad in Jamaica. They are down there in the fields rotting. The other thing that he said to me is that the melon, when you look at the nice robust melon and you bust them open, they are as white as a white sheet inside. And that has to they're asking the question now, is it the seeds that they're getting? They're getting inferior seeds, so they're getting bad product. All of these things are things that are basically impacting, because the farmers went out, they produce, and it's now going to waste. I asked the caller, what about the facility that the PM and Floyd Green, opened recently with fanfare? You said that's a very small facility, and a lot of farmers are not benefiting from that. Anything on that?
8047072. We're taking your calls.
Okay, yeah, no, the storage facility. So we need more storage.
Ronnie, let's look at a couple of the things that the people in the chat room are saying. They're saying, Mr. Ayman, I'm not sure. Why are we creating another ministry? The Prime Minister is now saying that he's creating a Ministry of Defense. What caused that now, Raleigh?
Well, only the Prime Minister can tell you that. Only the Prime Minister can tell you that. Why he need to be that. We need to cut costs in government now. So you can't come out of recession and tax the people and then increase the cost of running the government. We need to cut the cost of running the government and make the government more efficient and effective. Then say that over and over and over and over.
Veteran journalist out of Montego Bay, Light B. Smith, tell me last week, Tuesday or Wednesday, on radio, he is having major concern with that, and he basically posited the view that, listen, he's wondering what the Prime Minister is thinking, and he believes that what we're heading to is a police state or a military state. That is what Lloyd B., a very, very reserved person, that the view that he expressed.
No, man, it's El Salvador and model we are dealing with it so far as crime is concerned, which is a police state, just like El Salvador is. That's the example that they are working on.
Here one more thing that we ain't with them, Serali. Other manufacturing also fell largely due to reduced demand of petroleum product in storm-hit western parishes. Gasoline, 57.5% fuel down. Jet fuel down 50.3%. Other fuel oil down 7.2% down in the western region. They don't want anything down there.
Yeah, those are some of the impacts of the hurricane. That is why I'm saying to you, what we need to do now, all of them, what the numbers are telling them is that they need a stimulus. But instead of them coming with a stimulus, them come with contraction. So they are not reading the numbers right.
So if they were doing what we were saying from little after the hurricane rally, start build house down the west, then
Precisely.
the demand for petroleum, all of them things, they would have gone right back up because we would have moved a whole heap of people down there, having mass labor, building a whole heap of houses, whole heap of transportation and work down there. The government missed the boat rally.
Of course, and the decline would be lower, and probably we wouldn't be even declining. That they missed the boat, they are late.
The fact that this war down in the Middle East is ongoing now, people in America are getting afraid of the sleeper cells that are probably in America. What is that going to do to remittance coming into Jamaica, Ralston Iman?
Well, it's going to have a negative impact on remittances. The oil price is going to have a negative impact on the balance of payments. So you'll have less remittances, higher fuel bill, less tourism, wider trade deficit. You'd have to use the reserves more to stabilize the currency, and you'll have to borrow more foreign exchange. Simple.
Do you think the Bank of Jamaica need to ease off the intervention in the US dollar right now? With the dollar
right now, and save the money for when them days they come. Yeah.
So you're saying that they should allow the dollar to slide to where?
Well, 160 is the rate that is defendable.
160.
Today we close at 157.20. There's nothing to show in terms of production for the 157.20. The currency has moved from 161 to 157.20 without we earning any more dollars. In fact, we're earning less. So how is it that you're earning less and the currency is appreciating? Because you're going into more debt. You're using the borrowed money to do that. So you put the next generation into more debt.
Is the government getting it wrong on purpose, or I don't get it? How they know these things? How do they not know these things?
All right. So if we tell you all that him tell you, and then he supports the government coming in a tax package when there's supposed to be a stimulus, as every economist in the world knows, what does that tell
you? So them not. Go ahead, Obi.
No, me just say it bitter out there. Raleigh, a popular caller, you see, got out of Montego Bay, goes by the name Comrade. He said to me that things very, very stiff and sticky down in Montego Bay, in Western Jamaica generally. But he said one of his customer, when him say everything stand up, but him say them not have hand for sell rum and boom. What will be the furtherance of the rum and boom impact at this time?
Well, I think the government of Jamaica tax alcohol, rum and boom and cigarette. If you want to have a tax package and the package will be successful, it means that the people have to buy more of what you're talking about. They know that the policies are going to lead to more frustration and desperation. So more man are going to drink and more man are going to smoke. Smoke away and drink away your sorrows. They know that.
What will that mean for the Jamaican health sector that is already bursting at the seam?
More problems. So you collect at one end and you end up spending it at the other end. It also has problems for the security problems too.
We have a caller. Go ahead, caller. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
So to your big man on the other end. Question. If you have an account in Jamaica and it's like it's dormant for over 15 years, and when you check it, everything gone out of it, who stand responsibility for that? Can I go after the bank?
Yeah, well, the bank is a banking problem. You have to deal with the bank.
But when you have an account rally and you don't do no activity in it for a long time, don't the bank start draw fees out of it?
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
So
the fee they used to draw, isn't that the fee they used to draw is a little bit less than, because I know something pertaining to that fee, they kind of cut out that fee that they used to draw.
You're talking about the dormancy fee.
Right.
But there are other fees that them still draw that would done your money, you know.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the money
I
still
think
supposed
what
to
the
grow in
caller is
interest.
trying to ask if that is legal. If that is legal, is there any course that he have to recover?
Right. If that's legal, even though the money is supposed to still grow in some type of interest.
Hold on there, caller. Listen a little bit, caller. Who is going? Rally, you going or OB?
Yeah, man, it is legal. Those are some things that Fitzjackson was trying to get the government to go against when he made his proposals in Parliament. This government has not done to those things, so the banks go on and do it. It's illegal.
It is legal, not illegal.
No, it's illegal. But it is immoral.
It is immoral.
It's legal.
But it is
But
legal.
it's legal. Yeah.
So if you leave your money in the bank, caller, for 15 years and you think say you should have more, it will empty.
Yeah, man.
So what about the interest that grow on it? No interest,
no
interest not growing then.
Well, if you notice that the average interest rate that they get on their money is less than 1%. So what the money might tell us, we have to service the account. So by you getting that 1% on the money, them take it out of it for service the account, because them said no activities in the account, and when they have that problem, it means that the account is dangerous, so them have to spend more time on service it. So them charge you a fee for doing that. You can't have your bank account and not pay that contract for 15 years. I don't think that.
When the account is supposed to be, let's say you have put on money for rainy day. So if you have the account, it shouldn't empty. You should have at least get a little more money.
Yeah, man. You can't have the account for 15 years.
But the people
interest supposed to grow.
The people of Jamaica voted against that, my brother.
Got you.
But Raleigh,
we need to talk definitely one away. Okay, sir.
All right, my brother. Blessings, no problem.
All right, manners.
Go ahead, Obi.
Raleigh, just stay with this a little bit, because some time ago, Raleigh, this wasn't the case. This wasn't the case. There was a time when you have $100 in our account, and when you go back there after so many years, you would have had $110.
Them things changed all those things have changed in recent times, because fees have become one of the major earning sources for the government, and that is why for the banks. And that is why Fitzjackson has been so pressing with his bills. But this government voted against it with every man. Every man and the government voted against it.
Every single member, I think it was only Carl, some other, not Carl. Yeah, Mike Henry.
Because Mike Henry who did not turn up in the parliament.
Yes, Mike. Boy, listen, it is sad,
I want to read something for everybody.
Right.
Proverbs 31, verse 6 and 7 advise giving strong drink to those who are perishing or in bitter misery, specifically to help them to forget their poverty and misery.
Of course, that's what is happening.
Wait, you say? Favor go to bed and come up with the Bible verse and deliver.
Come on, give them more rum and boom to drink.
Glory.
Yes,
man. Oh my God. No, sometimes you wonder, Colin already. And this is why I keep on saying to people, there are a number of us who even when you support a political party, you have to be sensible. How can a government vote against a bill? Every single member of the government vote against a bill, and the people who it impact the most went out and returned that government by an increased margin. How you do that? Because remember that this was on the table from the election in 2020.
That is why sometimes the secretary said, don't blame the government, blame the bosses of the government who turn themselves into servants of the government. The people are supposed to be the bosses and them turn themselves into servants. So don't blame the government, blame them.
The government voted against the people of Jamaica, and the people in turn went and voted for the government.
Precisely.
Tala.
Yes, sir.
Tala.
We have a call here. Let's take the call. You're listening to the Colin Bell Show. We're live on Caribbean Radio, 97.9 HD4. We're talking to the top financial analyst in Jamaica, Ralston Iman. And we're talking to talk show host Conrad O'Brien. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I would like to put something. I'd like to bring something to the attention of
Ralston.
Of Ralston.
Yeah, but what is the fellow doing, bro?
No fellow around here.
Yeah.
Sorry?
No fellow.
No, sorry about that. Ralston, sorry.
You know
what I mean?
All right, go ahead.
The Long Pond Sugar Factory, see?
Yeah.
I got a lot of plowing equipment, you know what I mean, over the years, you know? And they have fabricated a company, they call it, what's the company? Anyway, they fabricate a company from in the restaurant Kingston there and turn the factory to them. You know what I mean? And all the plowing equipment, they use to plow the field. You know what they do with the plowing equipment? They cut it up in scrap metal. You know what I mean? And these are the people, these are the people. I think they call the company, my mind a while ago. Anyway, it's fabricated in the Western Kingston because those are part of the company, you know? You know what I mean? Everglade. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
All the plowing equipment, what Long Pond have over the years, plowing the fields, they cut them up and stone the scrap metal. You know what I mean? And then the Minister of Agriculture, he's coming to Parliament, dressed up in his three-piece suit and with his suitcase. And he's coming to the Parliament and said, okay, the country have gone through a bad hurricane. And I'm going to give the farmers six behind tractors to revive the agricultural industry. You see, and he's getting what, $20 million every month? I think the country, man. These people, you wonder why you pay them for, you know what I mean?
All right, my brother.
These people have a track record of destroying the damn country.
All right, respect. The man them not intend for doing no farming, so them just cut up the plowing equipment.
Lord Jesus have mercy.
Raleigh, anything you want to say to us finally before we let you go this evening?
Yeah, my final thing again is that here's another global event that is designed to wake up the people. Rum and boom and weed can't solve your problem. You follow me? And the problem is that you're not paying enough attention to what is happening around you, locally and internationally. And you have to start paying attention and hold your servants accountable and responsible. They are the servants and you are the bosses. Don't make them flip the script anymore, where you become the servants and them become the bosses. Because all these global events are going to affect how you eat, sleep, send you pick them to school, whether you're secure or not. So wake up and pay attention. Smoking and drinking yourself away and forgetting about reality, not going to change the reality. You have to live the reality every day, and things are getting harder and harder now. So you have to become more conscious and pay more attention. That's what we have to say to the Jamaican.
But what do you say to those who say no better not there?
Well, no better not there because you're not focusing and you're not paying any attention and you don't have no vision. Where there's no vision, the people perish. And what you are doing, rather than paying attention, because you have to inform yourself to know if no better than that. So when you're not paying attention, you don't listen to the news, you don't listen to this, you don't listen to that. You just smoke yourself away and drink yourself away. You must find yourself in a situation where you're no better than that. So you have to inform yourself and know what is happening around you so that you can know about the opportunities, the challenges, and the pitfalls. Yeah.
And if they are already perishing, Raleigh, if they are already perishing, what can they do?
Well, as I said, you have to inform yourself so that you see where the opportunities are and see where the pitfalls are. Because if you keep yourself ignorant, you're not gonna know the difference between opportunities and challenges. Yeah. So don't just put yourself on some boy and I better than somebody else I'll get a drink and just forget about reality. Because the realities will always affect you. Yep.
Somebody in the chat room is asking if we know if all the old buses arrived, the 110.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You know?
I don't think so.
Right.
That's a thought. I'm not sure. What do you know, Obi?
All right. I wanted to weigh in on something on that. Raleigh, so let me go. In terms of the buses, I spoke to Mikhail about a week or two ago, about a week plus ago, and he said that I asked him the question directly if he is aware of what is going on with the additional 50 buses. He said that the minister said some bus came in, and he basically somewhat confirmed that some buses came in. He said that the rollout, the minister said we are rolling out 80 buses now. So even by that count, it means that 30 would still be outstanding. Spokesperson Michael Phillips was unable to confirm whether or not it was the 50 that came in, but he did say that to his certain knowledge, some came in. Darrell, the minister, said 80 is rolling out. So even by his account, it means that there will be an additional 30 that is outstanding. MP Phillips said that he would get that number, he would get some confirmation on the number and get back to me. I haven't received that call back from him yet, and I must be honest, I have not placed a call to him since to get an update on that. So as far as I'm aware, none of us know whether or not the additional 50 buses were in. And remember, Colin, that we had basically did the extrapolation in terms of the number, the dollar figure, and it's about $600 million that would be outstanding by virtue of the 50 that was to come by according to Darrell's accounting. So if we get an additional 30, no, that was what, 60 additional 20 additional 20 came in, then there would still be an outstanding amount of $400 million based on the minister's calculation. Am I correct?
So far, I'm trying to send a message to ask the question. Have we received all of the 110 buses?
It's not 110, you know.
So much?
110. 110.
Then a 110.
Come on.
Oh yeah, you're correct. 110, yes. 110. Thanks, Colin. Yeah, you're correct.
So me send off a message. Let's see if there's any response. But Raleigh, rough times ahead.
Yeah, man.
Rough times ahead.
Sorry, Colin. Just before Raleigh go, you see, Raleigh and Colin and listener. This is the problem, you know. This is the problem in Jamaica. And Raleigh just said something. When you pose the question to him, when people say no better, no there. This is the kind of thing now. The people of Jamaica, the voters, This is your right. You must demand answers on this. This is how better come. Demand answer on this. Am I correct, Raleigh?
Yeah, man, you have to inform yourself so you can demand answers.
Right? And demand answer. We want to know what is the status, what's the lay of the land, how many of the buses came in, and as Colin have been asking, we need the audit on this.
Yeah, man. The Auditor General, as far as I am aware, is doing some work on it. So we are expecting that something will be tabled in the Parliament soon.
Yeah, man. But generally speaking, what I tell the people them say, pay attention to what is happening in the country and to what is happening in the world. Because if you don't know that, then you'll continue to say better than that. No better than that, because you don't know what is happening around you. You have to be aware of what is happening around you. And we mean globally, because Jamaica is a small open economy operating on a global economy. It would depend on global raw materials, would depend on global food, would depend on global clothing, would depend on global oil. So you have to inform yourself about what is happening across the globe. And what is happening right now is going to have a negative impact on the global economy and by extension the Jamaican economy. You can't rub and boom yourself out of it.
All right, my brother. Respect and thanks, Raleigh.
All right, blessings every time. Bless up all you. Yeah.
Respect, Raleigh. Respect. We talk.
Obi.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Raleigh. I was just waiting to say that, we are seeing a bit of contraction within the mainstream media space. We gather that, and I did share this info with you a couple of weeks ago. So we get the confirmation that Power 106 and indeed Hits 92 is on the chopping block. And, but I raised that because, Colin, in my view, I believe that it was... Well, I thought the acquisition of Power 106 basically made the media landscape a little bit poorer, because what it means is that we were getting one news across the board. So the whole business of the competition in news that weren't there, and I believe that is not good for that wasn't good for media at all. So all in all, we're seeing that kind of breakdown there. We also hear that what we normally describe as the old lady of North Street. Soon we won't be saying that anymore, because the Gleaner, it will be moving its office to Broadcast House at Lyndhurst Road, and also the printing of the Gleaner. They are negotiating that printing will be shared between the Observer and the Gleaner. So RGR is certainly cutting a great deal. They are consolidating because they're saying that, listen, the revenue is not there and the advertising dollar shrinking. Government continue to be the largest spender out there in terms of the advertising revenue. And of course, the go. So
the Jamaica Observer today is saying that RGR Gleaner unit secures court approval for restructuring, seeking suspension of 2 radio licenses.
There you go. There you go.
And it is said that they have gotten the court approval to proceed.
They have. And we gather that this will take effect as of the 15th of this month.
The 15th of March, yes.
The 15th of March. So our good brother and friend Raleigh, who are normally here on the what's Raleigh's show again?
Real Business.
Real business. It means that you won't be hearing him on Power 106, but I think there is a place that will be provided for him on the RGR outfit somewhere there, because certainly it would have really been a travesty for us to lose the voice and the knowledge of Ralston from mainstream.
There's no other show like that on radio in Jamaica, so I don't think that RGR would give up that kind of that level of content. So we're looking forward to see where Raleigh will end up on the 94, the big 94 they call it. But Obi, it looks away though. You said you were concerned from day one about the takeover of Power 106. Hits 92 is also a station that RGR took over when they bought JBC.
Yes, yes.
And if you look at it, they are keeping Fame, which is their original radio station, and RGR 94 FM. So in fact, the stations that they have bought, those are the ones that they are doing away with.
Yes, so there is also a concern or a conversation whether or not RGR basically went into the acquisition from day one to basically curtail the competition, and we're seeing a bit of I don't want to say backfiring, but certainly they have now decided that, listen, the fact that the group is losing so much money, they have to consolidate, and certainly there's no way that they were going to do away with the big 94. And indeed, Fame as being one of their other flagship sister stations. So they are gone back to their roots, so to speak.
Well, yeah. But radio is changing, and that's why Caribbean Radio is Caribbean Radio 97.9 HD. Because as I told you, Obi, they're also phasing out FM radio. It's going to be high definition radio. And of course, to all our listeners on Caribbean Radio 97.9 HD4, we welcome you. This is the Colin Bell Show. We still have on the line Conrad O'Brien, talk show host from Sleek 93 FM. Right here in Jamaica, talking about some of the happenings. Conrad, anything finally you want to say to the listeners and viewers this evening?
Just want to say, Colin, that it's a time for us all to be nimble, both in our personal life, and indeed we expect a level of nimbleness from the government to pivot here and there to ensure that they do the best thing to benefit the Jamaican people. We have to understand that we just can't sit on our laurels and wait for the 5-year cycle in order to basically let the government hear from us. If it means that we have to stand up out there with warm bodies to say to the government, listen, we are disappointed with this and so on, then we have to do it. One would never advocate for any form of violent protest, because that will only cause more mayhem. But we can protest in ways that send clear message to the government of Jamaica. We have seen it happen across the globe, and people get results. We are not children of a lesser God. I also want to touch something quickly, Colin, before we go. One of the big ticket items during the political campaign that ended climax with the election on September 3rd, the PNP had basically put forward in a big way, mark campaign on it, the beach access. And of course, as a result of the traction that Mark's proposal was getting, or the PNP proposal was getting, the JLP had basically entered the fray. We have heard nothing at all, and those kind of things, to have more of our people have more access to our beaches. We must also put those questions front and center, Colin. And we, in the space here, we will have to take up the proposal and start to peruse them and look through them on a one-by-one basis in order to assist our people to really see where we are. Thank you very much, Colin.
Blessings, my brother. One love. Conrad O'Brien. Yeah, man. We're still taking your calls on 876-1876-804-7072. You're listening to the Colin Bell Show. We're live on Caribbean Radio 97.9 HD4 right across South Florida, all the way up to Jacksonville, Yeah. Listen to us on 97.9 HD4. Download Bro Gary Radio. Get your Alexa. Link up Brother Gary and get your Alexa so you can listen to the channel anywhere you are around the world. My name is Colin Bell, and we're coming to you live from the studios of Portland Spice TV. That's my YouTube channel, If you have not yet subscribed to it, may I beg your subscription. Go on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check out my videos and my shorts. Yeah, right here on Portland Spice TV. Now, America. I just want to say to everybody living in America, open your eyes. there's a thing that they play at the airport that says, if you see something, say something. I implore you all to be safe. We know that these are serious times. And for those of us who hate war, we don't love war. We don't love war. And I'm saying to the American people this evening, be smart about what you do when you choose. Because anything that happened to a human being on this planet can happen to you. Don't tell yourself say it can't happen to you. Once it happened to another human being, you are next in line. We have to be our brother's keeper. Yeah, man. Jamaican people don't talk up for each other. And that is one of the problems we are having when we don't talk up for each other. We leave it out there because we say it not happen to me. And you believe say it not going to happen to you. You know, there was a public meeting in Port Antonio last week, Wednesday, which we carried live. And I really like the opening remarks by the MP for East Portland, Isaac Buchanan. And I'm going to play it back for you this evening. Listen to this.
First, they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. They came for the Venezuelans, and I did not speak out because. Then they came for the Cubans, and I did not speak out because. Then they came for the youth them where rub out them hand niggle and extrajudicial killings reach them, but I am not a. So I did not. Well, when they come for Boundbrook and Norwich, the people in Mansion Hill say, I did not speak out because what? But they forget that they are from Portland, and I'm including East and West. The point I'm making to you is this road, and I'm going to give you the hard truth, and listen to me. No member of parliament, whether they know how to dance, whether they know how to use a roller, whether you see them on the tractor, whether they make nice, fancy videos and say, look at the road that I give to you, they are not responsible for roads. The people responsible for roads, I don't want to throw Stephen Shaw under the bus, but he is the communications person, his National Works Agency. I want you to hear me out. Now, what do I mean and why am I telling you this? I wear two hats. I'm your member of parliament, which means that I serve you in that capacity. I just happen to be an attorney like Mr. Stephen Shaw, and I am now forced, compelled to work in that capacity for you. Can you appreciate that? Yeah. So, for those who, and my ears clean, may use the cotton swab. Those who are mumbling and choking on their words to say, may I play politics and maybe shut up and do the business. I'm explaining something to you. This is serious business. This is your life. This is your neighbors. I do not care who you vote for or who you give your life to, whether it was Bustamante or Norman Manley. I'm telling you to listen and wake up because this is Portland issues and Jamaican issue. This is about housing. This is about displacement. This is about ensuring that you live somewhere at the end of this. And if it doesn't affect you, that your brother, your sister, your neighbor, or the person you don't like still have a roof over their head in a time when climate change is rampant and we don't know when the next hurricane is coming. So any attitude that you have, I hope I'm speaking English so you can appreciate that even if you don't like me, I am constrained and willing and happy to work on your behalf, because they who know not what they do put themselves on the No. Having said that, just...
Thank you, Mr. Buchanan. Chris, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my friend. How you doing?
Good day, you know, brother. What go on?
Boy, Colin, with there, I watch the world fall to pieces.
Can I tell you?
This, you have to go back to the 1930s if we have any comparison in terms of where we are.
1930s, that's far back, brother.
Yes.
I am looking at I am looking at shorter than that though. George Bush invasion of Iraq.
Well, before the reason I said 1930s is we had before that you had the development of the Geneva Convention and all of these things, and people were trying to put together a law-based system where people had the rules of the road. We know that the weak wouldn't be trampled by the strong.
Yes.
In terms of laws and stuff like that. Now we're back again at that point where a man can't just come in your country and take your things and keep it for himself and keep the money. A piracy that by any means necessary. But this is the thing, Colin. Anywhere you cut it, the midterms going to be bad. Because if Trump loses, he's not going to accept the result.
Oh gosh.
And it's going to be mayhem. And if him win, well, all bets are off, because then him really going double down on him craziness.
What have the American people done to the world? What have the American people done to the world?
I don't think them understand. I think it's the whole analogy of throwing a pebble in the pond and the ripples.
Sure.
We've seen the ripples coming out. And I don't think a lot of these people think that far out, because most Americans are not that intelligent.
Oh Lord!
To believe it or not, them don't think beyond the borders of the United States. So the things that they do, that they don't see how it will affect people like me and you. It only when it affects them at a very granular level in terms of the paycheck or the taxes, they understand it. They don't really care.
But how are the American people feeling right now about this war? Are they pleased with what is happening?
I don't think most Americans agree with it, because first of all, it's going to cost a lot of money, and we know whenever you get entangled in the Middle East, it's not a short-term thing.
No.
It takes a very long time to extricate yourself out of it, and it costs trillions of dollars. So I don't think people are happy in general with the move. But we're at a point now where I don't think the country is not a democracy, it's a one-man band thing. And what that man said goes. You understand?
But what effect will this have on the American economy?
It's going to be bad, because gas price going up, and we're already struggling from the tariffs, and all the spill through effect of the tariff now driving up inflation. I know you had no high fuel cost to it. That's going to definitely be bad for people. Listen, a pound of yellow yam in America is $7. A can of ackee is $17. Think about that. $17 for a can of ackee.
Chris,
that's ridiculous.
Will there be mass gathering in the United States now? Will people be going out to events and going out to restaurants and all these things now?
Boy, it's hard to tell, Colin. I think if this thing drag on, then all bets are off. Nobody really knows right now. Being in America is a very weird thing, because I think most people just don't want to deal with the reality of what's going on. So them, go shopping and do all the things that they do to keep themselves distracted. But in the meantime, the water rising up to your nose.
Yes.
You feel like you're drowning and you don't know how to get out of this thing here. Because what you have, Carly, what you have in this country is Nazis, running the system, These are people with a philosophy of white supremacy. And that is really at the heart of all of this. If you read the 2025 project, at the heart of it is white supremacy. And that is guiding everything that they're doing. Listen to what these people are saying and what, in terms of basically erasing Black history, DEI, everything to that thing. Come back to them call it the Great Replacement policy.
Are we at a stage now where we can't trust the American words? They were in negotiation with Iran about nuclear proliferation, and all of a sudden they start bombing Iran. How are they going to be seen globally now?
Well, I don't think that was a surprise to anybody, because there's one country driving that whole policy, and we know what that country is.
So Israel are run America now too?
Well, basically, it's the dog wagging the tail. The tail wagging the dog.
The tail wagging the dog. Go see the dog a wag. And the tail steady. Hallelujah. Hold on, Chris. Let me just take the time to thank everybody in the chat room at Caribbean Radio 97.9 HD4 for joining us for the Colin Bell Show for yet another Tuesday. We do it every Tuesday evening from 6 until 8 p.m. on Caribbean Radio over there in Florida. 97.9 High Definition Radio, HD4. So check it out. Get your high definition radio. Let's move away from FM radio and get the crisp sound of high definition. Thanks, Broadsheet. Thanks to everybody in the chat room. This has been the Colin Bell Show. Thanks. Continue, Chris.
Colin, I want to ask you a question. Who is worse, Tufton or Darrell Vaz? Because as ministers, me personally, I don't know Darrell Vaz now in a prison.
Are they friends?
The things he has done to the country over the years.
Are they friends?
I don't know. You closer to the ground than I am.
Show me your company, me tell you who you are. They are friends. They are one and the same. All of them are the same thing.
But I just don't understand. So I'm just watching as an observer over the years. The things that this man has done to the country in terms of the abuse of the taxpayers' money and underhandedness of the stuff he has done. Him man should be under the prison, under the jail. Him out there make these statements about people, and a relive an election that has gone to distract people from the fact that him waste all of these billions of dollars by these junk. And by the way, Colin, if him go back and buy the brand new American bus, it's still going to be a mistake because I have a brother that drives those buses. Him said they're a piece of junk even coming from the factory. And they're very hard to keep on the road.
But the
you have
first
to have
thing,
highly
Chris,
skilled people to keep them on the road.
The first thing, the government of Jamaica should not purchase left-hand drive vehicle to be operated on the Jamaican roads. If you're getting them free, fine, you take it. But if the government of Jamaica is going to buy vehicle to use on the Jamaican road, the government cannot and should not buy left-hand drive vehicle. That's the first thing.
That is true. That is true,
That's
Colin.
the first thing.
But those buses are very expensive to maintain. Very, very expensive to maintain, just to keep them driving.
Yeah.
So that is going to cost a lot of money just to keep them on the road because they're not made for, even here, the road that they're made for here, they don't do well.
But that's why already JUTC is losing $18 billion last year. $18 billion in lost. So it's a happen already, brother.
The Jamaican people have to wake up, because their money, they better realize this is not Darrell Vaz money. That is their money, their taxpayer dollars that they go hard and work for. And by the way, that $3 or $4 billion that them borrowing is they have to go pay for it. So they better make sure the government give an account for every penny of that money because it's on their backs they will have to pay for that money.
Better know.
All right, my friend.
All right, Chris, give thanks.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, man. Let me say thanks to Conrad O'Brien. Thanks to Ralston Iman who joined us this evening. Thanks to you, the listeners and everybody in the chat room for spending the time with us on Portland Spice TV and Caribbean Radio. We know that you have choices and the fact that you decide to stick and stay with us. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your subscription. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, like, and share. This has been the Colin Bell Show for yet another Tuesday evening. We'll be with you tomorrow evening again for another hard-hitting discussion as we discuss governance in Jamaica. World happenings right now. The world is in trouble. Stay safe, my people. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace. Until we meet again tomorrow evening, peace be with you. One love.